Welcome to another episode of Pels in the Blender. It's your boy Davis. What's going on with y'all, man? On this beautiful, what's today? Tuesday evening. I got my dog Cheddar Chaz in the building. What's good with you, bro?
Cool, man.
Hey, there
Hold
we
it
go.
for my dog Kaepernick, man.
Stand
Oh,
with Cap, man. You hear me? Kneel with Cap, whatever, bro. It is
man.
an active NBA trade evening.
It is. I just saw the Chris Middleton news.
Yeah, the Chris Middleton move, D'Lo going to the Grizzlies, part of that deal. Whoa, was good, bro. Appreciate you tapping in for sure. All kind of activity going on. Look, he go and get signed. You heard me? Whoa, what's good, bro? What's good,
It
everybody
seemed
tapping in?
like I will say it seemed like there's several teams that are just doing shit.
Yeah.
It
Let's start.
seemed
Matter of fact, let's
yeah.
start there. Let's start there because obviously, when you mention that, like the first thing that come to mind to me is this Detroit move, right? It's just the most recent move that they made. They
Yeah.
moved Karis LeVert in 2 seconds for who did they get back,
Torian
man?
Prince and Gary
Torian
Harris.
Prince and Gary Harris. Yeah, what you think of that deal on face value?
I think on face value, they were just trying to create some space to potentially offer Duran more money. If
Mm-hmm.
he's I think at this point, what up with you? What up with your Ellis? Well, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Make sure you hit that like button. I think at this point, the $40 million is probably off the table. I think you're looking at 36 at
Okay.
best. Like hopefully you're at least looking at that. And I think with this move, it gets them to around 39 million they could potentially offer. So I think that's where they're headed. Personally,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they've gotten any better or any worse. I think
Oh.
well, what was that, Brian? I think
Oh. Talking about Detroit haven't gotten any
yeah,
better, any worse.
Detroit. I don't think they've necessarily addressed the issue, which is an on-ball creator. I think they
Mm-hmm.
know the style that benefits them and maximizes them, that being Cade, dribble penetration, kicking out the shooters, and
Yeah.
guys hitting big shots. So they got Torian Prince, who's a good shooter,
Mm-hmm.
Duncan Robinson, John Collins. Like, they got a lot
Yep.
of guys who can shoot, but it's just like you don't have another on-ball creator. So I anticipate Cade having some of the same fatigue issues going into the postseason.
Yep.
Hopefully, if they make the postseason this upcoming year, I anticipate them have some of those same issues.
I agree. I think one, as far as like the Duran number, there must be a number that Duran's fighting for. And it's like, listen, I'm not coming in for anything less than, you know what I mean? So I'll be very interested to see if, because of him being a restricted free agent and how that
Mm-hmm.
ended the market, like if like I wonder if the length of the deal is going to be like, you know what I mean? Do he take like a shorter deal to try and get back to, like, bet on yourself to a degree, or do you just say, all right, look, I'll take 38 and 5 for you know what I
He
mean, to try
could
and
he
lock that
could
money down?
I think at this point it would behoove both him and the Pistons front office to do a
Mm-hmm.
4-year deal. Maybe there's some type of mutual option in the final
Mm-hmm.
year. That way he can opt out and potentially get to his next payday, because you just can't undo these type of negotiations, bro. Like in
Yeah.
restricted free agency, when there's been like a tumultuous restricted free agency, you just can't um undo it. Like, and some bridges, they might not be
Mm-hmm.
burned, but they probably
Yeah.
a little scorched.
Do you think them creating that little extra, just maybe they throwing like an extra million or two in there, just to, like, if the deal was 35, they was like, look, let's create a little space, we'll give him
It's
38,
good,
you know what
Jaden.
I mean? Call it 38, and then, or you just think they're like, little bro, we can't go over.
I
This is what we
think
got for you.
I don't know this guy personally, but I think his agent probably is a bit of an asshole
Uh
because of how the Tyree Eason situation worked out.
a little bit
And
of a
I think
stickler.
yeah, and I think some people it's just the what's the word I'm looking for?
It's good, Jaden.
The allure or the status symbol
Mm-hmm.
of having that 4 in front of their salary. Even I think even if his salary started at 40 million and it went down each year, he
Yeah.
might feel better about it. But
Mm-hmm.
I think
Sometimes the fake numbers are good. It just make you feel good to be like, man, I got my client signed for 40 million, even if it's not a true 40 million. You know what I mean?
I think sometimes too, bro, it could be like, yeah, I take this deal, but you disrespected me. Like, I'm gonna take my money, but now it ain't gonna be the same. And there's been too many situations like that to where like I ended up getting the money, but now the relationship is kind of dead. You're gonna end up trading me. I want to get traded anyway. I just wanted my money. Now I got the money. So fuck y'all.
Yeah, and that's always a tough thing in sports, man. That's why it's like sometimes you gotta worry about how you negotiate. But as far as their team, right? They brought in a bunch of like, to me, they brought in a lot of shooters and stuff, but I think they brought in like a bunch of B and C talent. You know what I mean? Like I think during the regular season, I think they'll still have their wing defenders. Well, we're assuming, but right, you still, as of now, you still got a Soar and Highland who could still go out there and harass people and whatnot. As of right now, Duncan Robinson is still on the roster technically, and then you just supplemented that with Isaiah Joe and Gary Harris now and some of the other moves. So I just think they probably plan on, like, Dennis Jenkins is still there. It's just kind of like coming at you more so in like waves. But I think in the grand scheme of things, when it comes down to, because I think they're trying to build more like depth, but the problem is in the playoffs is, it's cool to have a deep team, but only like 7-8 people getting on a court. And I don't give a fuck if you can have 10. If your 10 can't compete with my 7, or you still got the same issues, we're gonna beat the piss out you. So that's pretty much what it boils down to.
I think you're looking at a team. And look, what they say, close only counts. Shout out to Louisiana Gap building. Say close only counts. And what's it called? Horseshoes. And I forgot what the other thing is, right? So I'll say this. They should have been a first round elimination.
Absolutely. If France don't go down, I think they out of there in 6 at best.
In embarrassing fashion, you should have lost. So take that into account with, at some point, you're going to need some continuity, and on top of horseshoes and hand grenades. Thank you, Paul. Kind of horseshoes and hand grenades, right? So to me, they just made a bunch of lateral moves. I guess we'll see what the loss of Isaiah Stewart does to the defense. With maybe a not 100% bought in Jalen Duren, what that could potentially do. And each season there's been like a somewhat significant roster turnover.
Yes.
You lost Beasley.
You lost Tobias as well. That's a big loss.
Yeah, you lost Beasley, Tobias. At this point in the last 2 years, you lost Beasley, Tobias, and Tim. So now they might feel like, look, as long as we got Cade and Bickerstaff, we don't give a fuck about nobody else.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Hopefully it works out for them.
There's been a lot of teams I guess making like interesting moves. Do you think I think as far as like those teams, and we'll get to the Pelicans and like the idea of that too, but I kind of like to run it about the league as well, because getting the idea of what's happening in the league kind of give you a better idea of where the team is, right now and where they stand, especially when you look at a lot of the deals that these teams are making. Like obviously the latest reported news is about free agent Kuminga, like the Lakers being one of the most interested parties interested in Kuminga, wanting his services. And who knows how true that report is, but talking about they offered him 2 for $20. Do you think players like Kuminga make a difference at all? To be honest, like Kuminga to the Lakers, I think is different than like Kuminga to the Pels. But like, do you think a player like Kuminga, where he's been, I guess, slated recently, or how players be looked at, it's kind of like him, Mather, and those kind of, do you think they make that much of a difference on a roster?
For that particular roster, I could see a world where it does. You add some physicality along the perimeter. You add probably a guy who would be the best athlete on that team at this point. They lost a lot of athleticism with LeBron leaving, even at his age. Jackson Hayes is gone, for what it's worth. So you talk about a guy that, is agile, can move around, and you look at a situation with Luka. There's another guy who I don't know why it kind of gets lost in translation or lost in history that Luka did not end the season healthy. Like Luka missed the entire postseason because they won a series. It became less of a story. Last time we heard about Luka, the injury was more significant than they initially thought. He had to leave the country to get evaluated. Yeah. So Luka still has that injury risk as we've seen, and now. Like if you're the Lakers, you need as many on-ball creators as possible to help take some of that load off of Luka and his ability, because I don't think nobody really worried about Quentin Grimes creating off the dribble or Austin Reeves necessarily creating off the dribble. So I think, what's that with your people, boy? I think you're gonna have to, you'll find yourself in a position where you need some strength, you need some athleticism, and you need some creativity along that perimeter. And if they were to get Kuminga, I think he could work for them. Yeah, like even Cameron Carr is more of like a catch and shoot type scorer. Yeah, ball player. Off ball player. So much like them. I'm sorry, Detroit. If you can't create, if you can't give a motherfucker the ball, and he can create, break down that defense, toss Kessler an alley oop, toss Kuminga an alley oop. You ain't tossing Kevon Looney no alley oops, but you give him a point. Yeah, if you can't. So. If you can't do that, it's gonna be tough. So I think Kuminga would fit for them in theory.
I agree. It's been a lot of interesting. These are one of the things was they could afford to lose too because they got Paul Reed when he played in the playoffs. Yeah, in the playoffs maybe, but it's different when you have Duren, Stewart, and Paul Reed. You've already shortened your your depth rotation. So now Paul Reed has to play well, especially if Duren doesn't play at the level where he played at last year. So I just think when people are looking at the roster and depth and the kinds of moves that people are making, that's where you get, people be trying to be a little too fancy and they're not even addressing what it is they needed to address. That's the thing. My thing about Detroit, with a lot of the moves Detroit made, they made a bunch of moves, and it's not to say that those moves won't potentially help, but again, you haven't really.
I just saw that comment. I heard you say it, but now it's you read something registered late. Yeah. I just heard that. That is totally untrue. Isaiah Stewart was literally a top 2, top 3 defensive rim protecting big last season. He was the anchor of their defense. Paul Reed, his entire career, has been more of an offensive type. What's the guy, man? Thomas Bryant type player. Yeah. He's nowhere near the defensive player that Isaiah still is their defensive identity. Him, Asar, Howland.
They help transition the toughness and all of that. When Bickerstaff got that, they were the guys who helped establish a lot of that.
Yeah, so I don't think it's a seamless Paul Reed type thing, because Paul Reed had 1 foot out the league prior to this.
Yeah, he had that time in Philly where he was I remember, people mentioning him as a potential player that you could bring in and do some things for you. But I just don't think players like Paul Reed, specifically Isaiah Joe, would I have liked Isaiah Joe as a Pelican as a shooter? Absolutely. But at the same time, Isaiah Joe, it's just a rotational player at the end of the day. Would I prefer him over a Jordan Hawkins? Absolutely. But similarly, is he gonna play over Sadiq Bey? No. You know what I mean? It's the same issue that you be having. And when you say it out loud, it kind of starts. You really have to clean up your rosters to a degree, because even if you bring in certain people, unless they're significantly better than the people that that you have already,
or the fit is better.
Yeah. Then you end up in a situation where it's kind of what do we do, because this guy still can't get on the floor, and then you kind of had that odd situation where you paid somebody something and they not playing. You see what Rich Paul said, Ben said. I did watch that, man. He said he said it was on the pod, man. He was saying basically if you transition Ben Simmons into a small ball 5, basically, with with the way Ben can rebound, see the floor, pass. You ain't really got to shoot. The biggest issue is he's a point guard, not shooting. If you play him at the 5 with the way he can catch and kick to the corners and stuff, you're a $30 million player right now.
Well, he must mean if Ben Simmons entered the league today, or did he mean
like today, like back?
Oh,
like
no.
Come back today, like
no.
Come back now.
No,
yeah,
not at all. Not what. And I'm one of them people that's like, man, Ben Simmons was fucking raw when he was,
absolutely.
That guy.
Ben Simmons,
Ben Simmons fucking cold. But now, no.
People be talking shit about Trae Young. Trae Young have ruined a couple of careers. You heard me?
I mean, Trae Young got a couple niggas out the league. Doc Rivers did too. Shout out to Doc, man. Doc Rivers, man. I don't even want to go there, man. That's a shame.
Yeah, Doc had some tough times. Man. So the whole idea of this show, bro, I kind of want to do like, so the way I advertise is basically like deal or no deal, right? Like people have been talking about all of these transactions happening around the league and whatnot. And man, we've put together so many great ideas over the shit during I'm gonna say months now, because we were talking about great trade ideas during the season, once you know what I mean, before the season, all kind of things that we thought would make this team better. So what I'd like to do is kind of do like a deal.
Well, we could have been fishing or doing anything. Nigga could have went to the park, like shot some basketball, just played some pool, did anything, whatever.
To this point too, before we get into the deal or no deal thing, I kind of like to address that too, because we this is another point that we kind of spoke on. Do we think the Pelicans will make any moves this offseason? The thing that
the card got a good question as well.
Yeah, that one right there. I'm gonna start these and we'll come back to them. But these are definitely two questions that we're gonna address, because if you compare this offseason to what we did last offseason, we definitely believe that there's a reason and some kind of method to behind why this offseason is moving the way that it's moving. So appreciate y'all for those great questions. I'm starting it and we'll double back to them, you know what I mean, towards the end of the show. Do y'all think a problem exists with the starters, the bench, or both units? For what team? If you're talking about us, I don't know.
It's the starters for me.
So you know what? That's a great point, because our starters never start the game off fast. You get down, and then the bench sometimes. First off, your bench ain't supposed to dig you out of holes, right? Your bench for the most part is supposed to either maintain the lead, not blow it, like keep the game for the most part wherever it was when you left it to a degree. At some point, I think we got too dependent on our bench in recent years of them having to change the game, bring the energy. You know what I mean? Shout out to I think the responsibility on the bench had been too significant over the last couple seasons.
I think you starting most games 3-on-5, bro. I mean, and that's real. And I mean, of course, with Willie Green and Borrego, I mean, fuck, it's 3-on-6. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you starting at a deficit with Herb, you starting at a deficit with whatever's going on at the 5. If Derek's starting at the 5, that's a deficit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like in DeJounte, let's just say he's a wash, whatever. Yeah. Like it, so that's still -2 right there. You know what I'm saying? It's just tough to overcome that, man. Like if Zion ain't going immediately, if Sadiq Bey don't got it going immediately, Trae got it going immediately, then you gotta. To me, the Pelicans were a strong second quarter team.
Yeah,
like strong second quarter team. Under Borrego, they was a solid third quarter team. They would fall off in the fourth. So they were able to get to the promised land. They just couldn't cross the threshold because, in my opinion, they weren't able to extend leads, like large enough leads to make the game a little more insurmountable, have more insurmountable leads. Whereas you going into the fourth quarter with an 8-point lead, that ain't shit. 9-point lead, that ain't shit. If you had about a 3-minute scoring drought where you could have pushed that lead to 16, pushed it to 18, and that ain't that much these days. But still, if you would be able to stack some buckets, I think you definitely could have won more games than not.
I definitely think they had a lot of issues with the starting lineup, and not just the starting lineup, just kind of managing lineups throughout the game. And like the past couple of years, that's been an issue. Again, you'd have something that's kind of working, like again with Willie with the second half, to just benching JV for the entire second half. It's like, what's the point of starting them and playing if you just gonna bench them the entire second half? You might as well just change that rotation. But stuff like that, and then you know the all small lineups, and then Zion at the 5 for extended periods. It's a bunch of things that we've had happen throughout this, like the multiple seasons, that just caused like the starters. Now again, especially once JV was gone and you had to go with starting a rookie Missy, and then Herb, not only Herb not being available, but then struggling with the jumper. It's just sometimes that shit too much to overcome. And to your point, especially when Zion decides to come out and say, I'm gonna fill the game out, you know what I mean, for the first 3-4 minutes, Trey miss a shot or two, and then you got to think you were starting Fierce, who's a rookie most of that time too. It's just a lot of different issues that you had when if you start verbalizing that shit out loud, like I know sometimes we think it, but once you start talking about it, you can kind of see it and then be like, well, that makes sense. Why
it just wasn't a lot of room for error last year. Like it was just by game 2, it was a full-blown mutiny against Willie Green, and the season was pretty much over from there, truthfully.
Another thing also with just moving forward in general, and then we'll get into what I kind of want to do, but like they have never committed to a style of play, right? Like even if you're gonna say, okay, our team is going to do what, like if you're gonna say, okay, we're gonna be a defensive team, or like I like to use teams like Chicago, right? Chicago knew they weren't stopping nobody. We don't give a fuck about it. We just full-blown fast break. We just gonna run and try and outscore you, and just commit to whatever it is, whether you good or bad. The issue is when you try one thing and then, okay, before we even establish that, we trying something else, and then before we establish that, you're trying something else. The one thing that I do like about Mosley, at least what he's saying, and I believe him because that's what his history showed in Orlando. We're gonna be a defensive team. We gonna start there. And then like everything else is going to be built off of the defense. So like what that means to me is going into the season, no matter what the hell happened, you should be, there should be the standard at least for the level of defense of everybody that's on the court. Now, whether they're good defenders or not, but at least if that's what you're saying, then I expect to hold you to that and work around that aspect first.
I understand. I see what you're saying. Like Mosley said, man, the difference between can't and won't. Yes. Saying if you can't defend, it's like, all right, well, fuck, maybe we can figure something out. If you won't defend, then ain't nothing to figure out. You got to go on about your business. So
absolutely,
totally makes sense.
Yeah, so that shit's fun. But man, we 20 minutes in, you heard me. So like again, my thought for this is we have been talking about so many like great transactions, like Herb for Max Strus type deals. What I want to do is I want to pitch to you a couple ideas that I have for trades, and just let me know. Let me know whether you would do these or wouldn't do these, and then we'll kind of talk about why or why not, right?
And make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Again, shout out to Colin Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying? We ain't forget about your homie. I'm still riding on my dog Kaepernick. Shout out to him. And
shout out to Cap. Hey.
Shout out to the home. Yeah, bro. I'm with you. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe also.
Absolutely, man. So here we go. First deal. And also y'all obviously comment on this in the comments, but like first deal, would you do Herb Jones? And this is straight up deal. We ain't talking about no we ain't talking about no
go ahead.
Listen, Herb Jones for Sam Hauser.
Yes.
What you just straight up you would do?
Straight up, I don't need nothing. I don't need no because son, and shout out to the homie Ed. That's a good question. If you could start that one as well.
Which one?
he asked about Harden's struggles in
Oh yeah, I
comparison
got
to
it.
Duran's struggles, right? Like if I look at Sam Hauser's numbers, right?
Yep.
Just because I'm a numbers person, bro. I don't really, all that other stuff. Like he's a good guy. I don't care. It motherfucker be Michael Myers. I don't care. Like, can he shoot? Like
True.
again, like Hauser's numbers don't necessarily jump on the screen. You're talking about a career 41% 3-point shooter. He averages just damn, like he might average more rebounds than Herb. He averaged 3.8 this year, which is crazy. And he's on a reasonable contract. So
how many attempts does he have per game? 3-point attempts.
This year he had 6.
That's a good number. 40% on 6 attempts. That's not bad.
Yeah, and last year on 5.6 attempts, he shot 41%. But the year before that, on 5.9 attempts, 42%. Like, come on, man.
He's a 40%.
Do the sniper, right?
Yeah.
With Herb, I just look at things. I like to look at things long term. Like I think as recent as last year, that contract became maybe a neutral value. And now I probably would put it at I think many would probably put it at a negative value, considering what that leap looks like. The leap looks like, it's an additional $5 million. Yeah. Without going on a tangent, I'll just say Alex Caruso, a multiple time all defensive guy, 2-time champion at this point.
He saw Caruso getting 30 in the playoffs too.
Yeah, Caruso dropping like 30. Yeah, he dropping like 30 in the motherfucking Western Conference Finals. When you look at things this holistically, it's just
what do you think of this? As we talking, the
Herb is our best player
based on
numbers.
Because we're talking about the analytics.
It's totally not true. There's really, aside from maybe if you want to say the off-on numbers, and okay, like there's way more numbers to support that he's like. I'm talking about like there's way more numbers to support that Herb's nowhere near the second best player.
Yeah, and my thing is, he's like, why do you want to trade Herb so bad? I think mainly is if Herb made 14 consistently, you probably wouldn't be as willing to move. I mean, 14, I think, is still a lot for the level of production as the defense starts to slip a little bit. The issue is the defense slipping and the shooting, and he getting ready to make, not this year, but the following year, he getting ready to make 20+ million for the next like 2-3 years after that. So that's why Chaz is so like adamant about like
the move. If Herb made 10 million, he would be overpaid for what
Anthony Simons makes 6 million right now.
Yeah,
for like example, Sadiq Bey makes 6 million this year.
Like there's guys like AJ Mitchell is making like $2 to $4 million. AJ Mitchell is a far superior player than Herb Jones as it currently stands. Like there's guys on rookie deals. There's guys with 1 foot in the fucking NBA right now, and they just totally crushing some of the players on the Pelicans, like even Bryce McGowan's, for example. When you consider Bryce McGowan's offensive off and on numbers and things of that nature, he was more impactful offensively. Defensively, of course, Herb is still very solid, but you're not paying Herb to be solid. You paying Herb to be elite.
You are paying Herb to be
elite. Herb also did, and shout out to Sam, Herb didn't have to run point, bro. That's something them dudes wanted to do. Like Herb and Willie, that's something that they wanted to do, bro. Just to be real, because, and I was complaining about this in Birmingham. When I saw that Birmingham Herb shit, I said, I never want to see this again. Get all your shots out the way now. Yeah, Herb just shooting the ball. Like that dude continued to play like that the majority of it. It cost you so many games with him just going rogue.
I think what ended up happening was, and I understand once you start getting, because Herb as a 2nd round pick, I think your offensive production to a degree is tied to your money. I'll be honest with that, right? Once he gets the first extension and you start getting around 12 to 14, it's like, hey, bro, look, we need you to you want to be out there.
Step it up a little bit,
to get you some offense out here. Then once you get a little more established, you one of the untradeable wings, and it's kind of like, hey, bro, look, you got some freedom to shoot that bitch a little bit more. So I think part of that is kind of what comes in, and you get away from what it is that he was asked to do, and the roster, just to be fair, is just not as good as it once was. So if he gonna be playing 30 minutes, we do need you to make some goddamn shots.
You just can't be a total. Well, what up, Brock? Shout out to everybody in the building, man. You just can't be a total non-threat offensively, because that goes to my point of saying, okay, just hypothetically speaking, when a Herb or a Derek Queen or a Messi to a degree on the court, it allows those one shooter lineups. It allows you to neutralize Trey and Zion to a lesser degree, because you can say, okay, I'm just not going to leave Trey, because why I got to rotate? Like I'm not rotating the Herb to contest that shot. Even if we switch it, I'm staying on Trey, because I'm gonna try to ice him out the game. And he, to his credit, he still averaged 20. Now to Zion, it's like, it don't really matter. It's Zion. It's really nothing too much you're gonna do. But that's at least 1 to 2 extra guys in the paint, or one guy just playing Deion Sanders on an island, or Revis Island with Trey Murphy. And you don't really have a great center to create, to run them off screens and things of that nature. It just complicates the entire offense more than it needs to, and the defensive benefit isn't there, like the rebounding ain't there, etc. But we can go to the next trade. I don't want to beat up on her.
Well, a lot of these gonna kind of include some of the same people, because realistically, a lot of our deals, right? A lot of the pieces we moving, like.
Because that's the niggas that need to go. This being real. Like, I'm trying to be nice. That's the niggas that need to go. Like, all right. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I got a
we gotta be honest.
Right. Like, so my next one is
give me a deal for Jeremiah Pierce. Like, why?
So Sam, why would I give away Jeremiah? I'm not trading away Jeremiah Pierce, and if I am, it's gonna be for something fantastic.
I'm not be for an amazing player.
Well, so
I apologize for that.
No, you good. The next one is similar to Hauser, but maybe not as decorated. Herb for Corey Kispert.
No,
straight up. You rather
the reason.
This deal is similar to Hauser's deal.
I would probably want some picks with that one, because I think Corey Kispert is more Joe Harris than Sam Hauser is. Like, I think Corey has never been a part of any type of winning. He gonna always fold under pressure. I just wouldn't do that. I'd rather just move her for seconds if the alternative is Corey Kispert.
You just I'd rather just get him off the ride.
Yeah, I'd rather just get him off the team with the contract. Because when I'm talking about her, I'm really talking about the contract. I just don't think.
The player.
Yeah, not the player necessarily. The player just happens to be her, but the contract is just abysmal. With Corey, I'm cool on old Corey. I'm cool on Cole.
All right, that's interesting, because him and Sam got the same contracts and stuff like that. So that's I'm glad that even you was willing to be like, nah.
He got that stench on him. Like, I just can't.
So that's one of the and we'll continue with these, but those are the kinds of deals that it's just kind of would you move a motherfucker for any circumstance, or just no, I wouldn't do those.
To be fair, right? What's the length of Corey Kispert's contract?
He got 3 for his, and what you call it the same. He's 3 for 13, 3 at 13 a year.
I think that's an overpay for Corey Kispert, but not for Sam Hauser, right? So
that's fair.
That's why I wouldn't do it. If he was expiring, it would be more appealing to me. But
I got you. He definitely got years left.
Yeah, fuck that.
So let's see. Here's the next one. We got straight up. This is straight up. Trey for MPJ.
Michael Porter Jr. Nah.
Michael Porter Jr. You wouldn't do that one?
I think people kind of miss with MPJ is a super high volume guy.
Very much so.
And MPJ he's had some cool moments in Denver, but he's putting up big numbers on a really bad team, and he's the de facto guy. I've yet to really see MPJ. To me, that's a little too lateral. That's
he's not. And my thought was, some people look at MPJ as a better player than Trey, even if it's not by much, right? Some people say he's a better player, but the thing is, Trey's on the controlled number. He got 3 years left or
I'm
whatever.
I'm not giving MPJ $40 million.
He at 40 right now, and he need an extension, right?
Yeah, so, to me, once I start jumping numbers like that, you better be in a different tier. Like you got to be in a
thing
different
too with the injuries too.
Yeah, he got a backiotomy.
Yeah, and the other thing with MPJ that I did not like is after he did not make the All-Star team, and this was something that he said. He said he mailed it in. Yeah, he said he mailed it in. Listen, bro,
dude.
Yeah, MPJ got out of Denver and got a little freedom, and it's been a
wild and out.
Absolutely. So all right, so that's a no. So right now we 1 yes heard for Sam and then 2 no's. Okay. Here's the next one. I think this one is a little more interesting because it's more so about your vision. You got Jordan Poole, and I don't know if Dallas would do this either, but Jordan Poole for either Clay and PJ Washington or PJ Washington and Gafford. You want the wise first?
I'd rather have the money.
I'd rather have
the money. And look, I really like PJ Washington. Like I like PJ Washington game a lot. He can rebound, does a lot of cool things. Yep. But I'd rather have that money.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie.
That's what Jay, you would do it. Explain why.
If Gafford is out of the deal and I found another way, then cool. But I don't want Gafford on my books. Like
that's what the issue is, because like you need. So this is the idea is like, okay, we need a center. Yeah. PJ absolutely provides you some shooting and stuff, right? Yes. So like if you had, and he rebounds, he still has some size, he could play make a little bit, he's not afraid to step in and go get a bucket when need be.
Right.
So like that's not a bad player to pick up, you know what I mean, for Poole, gives you some more size as well. The issue is, what are you willing to sacrifice? Because like if you did Clay and PJ, right, you got the Clay expired at the end of the day. So you get like at least you don't get the full 34 mil coming off the books, but you would get half of that, and then you'd have PJ Washington. But PJ got like 4 years, 4 years left on his deal, and I think Gafford got like 4 years left on his deal too. So it's like, would you prefer the flexibility of the money, or would you take the 2 players that help you, but you might struggle moving them?
I think Gafford overrated. If it was another formulation,
that's an interesting comment right there.
They both put up numbers on the bad team, teams. And one like what 10 plus million cheaper than the other. I might as well keep the one I got. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. At least he ain't like a psychopath. Like every day a psychopath.
PJ be wilding. With PJ. Nah, you just got to consolidate. I think.
You know what? To shout out to H Bizzle, I'll say this. I think it's a skill set thing, right? Like for example, I think PJ could play the 3 and the 4, but I think with PJ, I even think in certain matchups he could play small ball 5 because he's a really good rebounder. Yeah. But I think like Sadiq give you some minutes at the 3, at the 4. He got some good catch and shoot numbers. PJ got some good catch and shoot numbers. Like certain lineups, you could pair guys together more, even like regardless of where they fit. Like even like some, for example, like you could play. These are 2 great players, but Jokic and Wemby, they're both centers, but since they both rebound, stretch the court, and they kind of got different skill sets. Even though Jokic's not a great shooter, he can put the ball on the ground. He can get in the post. He could kick out to Wemby, who could stretch the court. Like there's more flexibility there when guys have multiple skill sets versus guys who are a little more limited.
It's a lot of different variations that you can play. That you can use for certain people. Listen, these are look. Nah, this is the thing. Use like her for Kongu straight up. Of course you'll do that. The idea of this is not like deals that you for sure gonna do. We've done the great deals. I want the risky deals, like the ones that
I don't know if I do that one.
You don't think?
I had to look at the Kongu numbers again. I think with some of these guys, I find myself still saying, fuck, I need a center. That's why
I
it's
get what
hard.
you're saying.
Yeah, like and that's why I don't like Gafford or Congo necessarily, because I find myself just being like, fuck, now I need a center. I got me a rotational big. I need a center. That's
I
why
got
I
somebody I
really
could play in spurts, but I don't have a guy to go do what a center would do.
and I feel like I'd rather just sign that guy. I'd rather go sign Nick Richardson, trade for a shooter and some expiring salary. I mean, there's different orders you can do things. You can trade Poole for more, DeJounte rather, for expiring salary. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's different
Tari
things.
just got that deal. I mean, I don't.
Yeah,
You
he ain't
can't
getting
call for
traded
Tari
till
until
December at the earliest.
Yeah,
that's tough. I was with you on that though.
Yeah, I definitely one of the people I had targeted. Here's another fun one, another interesting one, and I think this team will possibly do it. We'll see. Poole for Aaron Gordon, straight up.
Poole for Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon.
Nah.
You don't think because of the money?
Nah, because it's too many.
If he was healthy, would you do it? If he was healthy,
if he was healthy, I would do it. If he was healthy, I would do it.
He has 3 years. So I think like 4 years left at 30 plus million. I think he's already 32 right now.
Oh my God.
What
was that?
And he's not a 5 also.
See, I think you can find cheaper replacements for. I think you pay a premium for them dudes because they already are who they are. But
yeah, the name and the reputation is there.
Yeah, but I do think you can find, because Aaron Gordon wasn't this guy when he got like drafted. He had to like humble himself and become
absolutely.
Like, I'm a role player now. But I think there's like cheaper alternatives. What was that in line? There's cheaper alternatives to where you just like, look, man, I'm about to put the battery in back pause. I'm gonna charge this motherfucker up, and I'm like, look, this is what you do, da da da. Like, and I feel like this is cheaper, younger, more affordable alternatives. That's why I just rather have the cap space versus like, hypothetically speaking, I know some people would prefer Aaron Gordon, right? But let's say this. Let's say Aaron Gordon will cost you Poole and an asset. Let's say it cost you Poole in the first. Because Aaron Gordon's still held in high regard compared to Poole.
He's a high priority player.
But if you just let Poole roll off the books, let's say you can, this hypothetically, you could take on Julius Randle's 2-year deal with just cap space. It's like, it don't cost me nothing.
First.
I'd rather keep my first and just get Julius Randle, if that's the scenario,
that makes sense. That's a great point. That does become too much. So like that's the part that's interesting, is kind of like when you look at some of these players and Denver would at least consider it to have $34 million coming off the books in the season. Like they probably love
that would save them like $200 million.
Oh my
or something
God,
like that.
bro! Like it would do wonders for them. No way, Aaron Gordon make too much money, injured all the time, very old. So what's good, bro?
Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Shout out to all y'all.
Man. Y'all hit that like button, bro. Appreciate y'all participating in the chat too. Keep that up. Here's the next one. This is another interesting one too, because I think this one is similar to this is an interesting thought. Don't fit the timeline even with Zion. I guess because of the age, he don't fit either the young guys or the old. If you get an Aaron Gordon, you in like true win now. Like you gotta make. I think like that would be a move. You gotta make another move.
I honestly don't know if a timeline really exists like that, because in theory, let's say if you thought Zion probably had another maybe 4 or 5 years as a high level athlete, if that. Aaron Gordon probably only got about another 4 or 5 years playing in the NBA. So by the time, the time it's over for both of them anyway. That's how I look at it anyway. Like for some guys, like guys who kind of hit a little late in their careers, it's like, well, you ain't like you got that much time anyway to do what you're gonna do. So
you'll get Aaron Gordon if Zion ask out. I don't think I'd take the contract under any I think we should look at some restricted free agents for next summer with Hawkins and Poole expiring.
Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What you about to say?
Shout out to Sam. Now, Sam, see, that's the thing, right? That's why your partner Herb got to go on about his business. Herb and DeJounte, because right now the Pelicans, they can do uneven trades for next year because they'll have a ton of luxury tax space. And this is barring that they don't, well, even after they extend Sadiq Bey, they should have a nice chunk of luxury tax space. But you don't really got a lot of talent on the roster necessarily. So if you can find a way to get DeJounte $30 million off the books for next year, or Herbs, or both their money off the books for next year, you could become a real player in free agency. And not that, I don't know if anyone wants to do this, but you could have a Lakers-like free agency if you want to. Like, but you got to get, you could do a lot, but you got to get them dudes off the books. Like, and that's why I keep advocating for it.
This is a good point. The two-timeline shit. Nobody ever said two timelines when KD moved to Houston.
Nobody's saying it down with Dallas or Memphis or Utah. Like, nobody's saying it. Like, I just think it's a stupid talking point, bro. People want to complain about something.
Yeah,
it's lazy. I
1000%. Yeah, agree with that. That's interesting.
To me, Dallas would be on a 2-year. A 2-timeline. No, I'm sorry. Utah would be on a 2-timeline thing if
100%.
If Peterson come out there and just look phenomenal. Like if Peterson come out there and like, I'm the best player on this team, but then front office is gonna think, well, we ready to compete right now. What we gotta wait for? Like, you know what I'm saying? So you know, I understand both sides of it. But also, you don't go ahead.
No, go ahead. Make your point, because my point ain't about like that.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say you don't establish a timeline until you have a foundational piece. If you like, I mean like a true foundational piece, like I'm the best player on a good team type talent. Yeah, and I don't think they have that in the building just yet. Like I like Fairs. I don't think Queen is any threat of being that, but I think Fairs is very talented, but I don't think he's that neither. So until you get that guy, then that's when the new timeline could potentially start, in my opinion.
And I think there's a difference between a good piece, right? Like a quality player, and somebody that's changes the timeline kind of player. Like, excuse me, like when Herb was at his best, and when Trey, were early in their careers and they were good rotational pieces, you were like, oh, that's exactly what they are. Good rotational pieces. We see some potential in them in the future. They were not anybody that came out and looked how Zion looked his first year, where you just kind of, this motherfucker breaking the rookie record for 20-point games in a row.
Like any of these Anthony Davis, some of these guys, they're John Morant, like these guys are drafted where they're drafted. Like if they did a redraft today, that like for this not this season, but the Fairs draft, Queen draft, they probably go exactly where they go. Yeah, I don't think the draft order really changes much at all.
Nah, you gotta wait for it to play out. A lot of stuff gotta. Normally, when draft orders change, people done been hurt. People done had bad. Stuff, you know what I mean? There's a lot of shit.
Was it Noah got hurt in Chicago? Yeah. Like certain things happen, but I think if we just basing it on play, I don't really.
Ooh, Louisiana girl, this is a great question. This is a great question.
That's a really good question.
I'm gonna say this one because absolutely, because I feel like we have.
That might be the crux of the show. Almost, right?
It is.
Louisiana girl.
Because Joe, I think Trajan started out hot, right? Came out firing, and then I don't know.
You mean Troy?
No, Trajan.
Wait, the question was Joe?
No, it's Joe or Trajan.
Oh, Troy. I don't know why I thought Troy. Trajan? I don't fuck. Nah, Trajan. Dog, Trajan got way more fails than hits. Like Trajan, like he got.
I'm assuming she mean at least his Detroit time. His Detroit time.
He ain't do shit. Like to me, like to me, bro. The people that drove winning for that team, and of course you had Malik Beasley, like guys had good years. But I'm like, you brought in some cool complementary pieces. The best thing Trajan ever did, and I feel even the Detroit people. And I'm cool with some of them. They just don't talk about this. Even when they shitting on Troy, and I don't really know Troy like that, is he hired Biggerstaff. You hired a former coach of the year who was just awesome. And you just like that's all you did. Like, and you just brought in some cool role players that could shoot. Like you didn't draft Asar, you didn't draft Cade, you didn't draft Duren, you didn't draft Stewart. The guy you drafted, Ron Holland, he's not a bust at all. But I mean, come on, fifth pick for that. Like, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting watching them both bitch about the same thing. It's true, but like it's interesting with Detroit because they've had success because they star player been a star. But you watching, like, we'll see this year because boy, if Cade take a little step back, and then with how crazy. More competitive the East looks, you're gonna start
again, horseshoes and hand grenades. If y'all lost in that first round, it would have been like, yo, what the
Bickerstaff probably is fired.
Because you
Bickerstaff is probably fired.
I don't know if he fired. But I'm like,
about it, he got the extension immediately after. Immediately after, before the series even started, he got the extension.
Like looking at like Asar, like if they're counting on Asar developing into this great on-ball creator, and it just don't happen, it's like, well, that's the excuse you was using for not going to get talent. Now potentially our window could be closed because windows don't stay. I don't believe in windows anymore, but windows don't stay open. It's not indefinitely. Like it's not an indefinite thing. You got to keep adding talent, keep getting better and better. And now your roster getting expensive. You got Duren, maybe. You might got Asar. You got a Cade already under contract. But now it's like you got these three pillars, but you're still missing like the things you need to really put you over the top. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go about building the rest of that team out.
That shit is interesting. I got one since we talking about Detroit. Here's an interesting one right here. Herb, this is not the one that I had. I'm gonna go back to that one, but we'll do it since we talking about Detroit. Herb straight up for Holland. Herb straight up for Ryan Holland, or I don't want to say this one, but like, or Duncan Robinson. One of the two.
I'll do both of them deals.
You do both of them straight up?
Yep.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know if you would do the Ryan Holland deal straight up because if he comes in and play, why would you do that one?
Well, I don't like the rookie scale deal that he's on as the number 5 pick, but cheaper than Herb, just as good as a defender. Like there's a realistic possibility that Herb's never an all defensive defender again. Like that's a real possibility. Duncan Robinson, even if he like falls off, okay, whatever. Like I address a big need.
He's expiring at the end.
He falls off the books. Who cares? With Holland, there's still some upside there. You know what I'm saying? At worst, if he's just like young Herb, okay.
Yeah, like, that's how I looked at it. I was like, I think Herb is a better player right now, and I don't really like Holland, though. I ain't gonna lie, but I understand doing it. He just have like, I think he's more athletic. You know what I'm saying? So I think he'd be able to run the floor and just go play like younger Herb. Go play defense and just go run the floor. Go try and get dunks.
I understand. Shit like that. I just always say, is he 10? No, because he'd be 13. Is he about $13 million better? Then it's like, like fuck no. Like because you think about like, damn, the players I could sign with another 13 million or 20. Like that's how I always. I ain't
gonna lie. Yeah, if you had the extra resources, that's
opportunity cost right there. You forfeiting with her, like or just not just with her, with any player that's making big money and they not like leaps and bounds better than a cheap player.
Yeah, this next one is one I think you'll do, but I find it interesting, so I'm gonna ask: would you do Poole for Jared Allen?
No.
It really?
Nah.
Rather have the money?
It got to be DeJounte. It got to be DeJounte.
And I knew you would say that. That's why I was like, it can't be DeJounte. It would have to be JP for Jared Allen.
I'm not trading no expiring salary. Like, what if it's Poole? I'm not trading that much expiring salary and taking on a bunch of salary unless it's for like, it got to be a player that I love, because I don't want to fuck up my next offseason carrying DeJounte and Herb. Like if Herb is going out in the deal too, you might be able to convince me. But
and that's why I didn't put him in there either.
Yeah, like, you might be able to convince me. But I can't have Jared, like, because let's say Poole's gone. You lose that cap space next year.
Yep.
And now I got Herb about to get a raise. I got DeJounte still stealing fucking money on my books. Like, I'm just like, God damn, not Jared Allen on the book. It's just
Jared Allen. Do you think Jared Allen is a quality enough center to make a difference? Or like
at times, I think he's a very good center when he's healthy. But the thing is like you don't be healthy because
it's not worth the opportunity cost of having
juice ain't worth the squeeze. Juice ain't worth the squeeze. Because it's not that I'm a fan of Poole. Poole don't got. I just view Poole as a big expiring. And I would rather have that money next season versus, that.
Yeah, this is the thing. You can't do like, for example, the deals that I'm creating, right? It's kind of like the risk of them are the other team is in a bind, and they kind of like, shit, I'll take the 34 million expired. Like, those are the deals that is kind of like they're appealing. Right, like Jared Allen is appealing, but why would, again, if you Cleveland, why would you take DeJounte? You get what I'm saying? Like, I got fucking
anybody really.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying? So like, and he got the extra year on his deal that you hope he opt out of or whatever. Like, if he was an expiring, it would be different. But Poole, the value of Poole, and not just giving away, like, what kind of player would you give Poole away for that's like worth not having the 34 million expiring? That's
it would have to be a young answer at center for multiple years, like a relatively young guy.
And then your relatively young guys don't make 34 mil.
Well, let's say hypothetically speaking, this wouldn't happen, but what up, Cullen? If it was like this, hypothetically speaking, if it was a player that don't have a crazy injury history and I could shoe him in, like, all right, at least this gonna solve my problem for a couple years at minimum.
Like Lively?
No, Lively, his injury history is too rich. Like, I'm trying to think of somebody who I don't love as a player, but like, in theory, let's say Miles Turner was a good rebounder. Right? Let's say he was a good defensive rebounder. Let's say he averaged 10 rebounds.
This is the next one, by the way, so we can actually continue with this. The next one is Poole for Turner.
I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
I wouldn't do it. Like, because again, let's say even if he waives his trade kicker, like, to me, what people get it fucked up at, and this becomes like a talking point, is the Pelicans don't need like a unicorn center. Because the most successful the Pelicans have been in recent years, they haven't had that unicorn center. They had Jonas Valanciunas. They had Steven Adams setting screens and rebounding the ball. Like, you were a top defensive team with Jonas Valanciunas, and no one thinks Jonas is this amazing defender. You just got defensive rebounds. Najee helped out. Jose helped out. Brandon helped out. Zion helped out. Herb, of course, helped out. Like, you just rebounded the ball. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you were very lucky. I think the Pelicans led the league in like one of the lucky stats where guys are missing wide open threes. The Pelicans led the league in one of those stats, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, we're near the top of the league in that. You don't need a center that, to me, that's an old bitch ass talking point that people try to build.
The stretch center.
Yeah, it's totally nonsensical. Totally not. Look, shout out to Louisiana guy. Totally nonsensical. Like, oh, they need a big that rebounds and shoots, and no, you don't. Because here's the thing: if you did have a big that just stretched the court, that's what he did. How you gonna get offensive boards?
Yeah,
he's
too far away from the rim.
Too far away from the goal. So you still need a motherfucker that's gonna help you with second chance points. And then if he got like a somewhat significant like usage for his off ball, how you gonna be up and down the court defending? Like, you need a guy that go out there, get 12 motherfucking rebounds, be a low usage, catch the ball and dunk center and set screens. You don't need no stretch center. It's a stupid talking point. Like, it's been one for years. It's been one for years. It's a lazy talking point because it totally ignores, you just had your most successful season in recent history with a non-shooting center.
Yeah, absolutely.
And all he did was rebound, and you wasn't even
Yeah.
playing him in the second half of games.
And even when you look at the teams that have stretch centers,
yeah,
all have rebounders, right? They don't play them. They don't play them by themselves, and you better get down there and help a rebound. Like if Chet was the only big, OKC would be in trouble. Like you had to have Hartenstein
a
to
big
go down there.
body guy to do grunt work.
Exactly. Who else? Back there, you gotta be a very unique kind of team for that type of shit to work. Like I don't ever really remember when Golden State won that last championship, they didn't have a big center. I don't think
Looney was there.
Looney, but again, that's a super unique team with Draymond and fucking
they were one of
Steph
the top. They were one of the top defensive teams. They were like 1 and 2 the year.
Yeah,
like it was the number 1 defense versus number 2 defense with with Boston and Golden State, and then even with Looney's last year in Golden State, he was still one of the best rim defending bigs and defensive rebounding bigs in the league at that time, like per his numbers. And also, it's like, bro, people talk about like Nash Reed. You know, disrespecting Nash Reed. Nash Reed is not a starting center in the NBA. It's the reason he never started. Like, that's the reason he's never started, bro. He's not a starting center. And it's
another thing too. Not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but like to this point, people like rebounding is an effort stat. Rebounding is also a skill. It's more than effort, bro. Like people think it's effort, and part of it is effort and want to and all of that.
I think at least 50% is effort, and the other 50% is skill.
Yeah, like certain dudes just know how to get like Josh Hart is like a lot of effort. But that dude just tracked the ball. He is like DeJounte is a really good rebounder.
Yeah, he's a good rebounding guard. I thought CJ was a solid rebounding guard as well.
Yeah, Steph Curry is a really good rebounding guard. If you go look at him by the numbers and stuff like that. This was another point too I wanted to go to. You need to talk about the developmental guys in Utah, Rudy, Kessler for nothing to sign Whiteside. Dog, Filipowski, and I don't think you could get Filipowski, but I like
he's a good rotational big for real. He's spot start for you for sure.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that I would consider when you just talk about like
I'm sorry.
You good, bro. Developmental people. Drummond, you can't get Drummond. Drummond is in New York. Just signed that deal. Said he wouldn't take no pay cut.
And he's another guy, just averaged 8 boards. Like I think
just get rebounds, bro.
Yeah, I think, and that's my thing again. It's like, bro, one of the main reasons the Pelicans were successful in recent history is because Jonas was an advantage creating big and get you the ball. You couldn't do nothing with him in the post. He had a nice little midi. Couldn't really stretch the court at all though. Like that wasn't his thing. What's that? What's your name? Ward? I mean, he was a beast on them boards. And Matt Ryan was just pissy from beyond the arc. CJ just pissy from beyond the arc. Yo, and that's your guy, Juju Reese.
I said, dog, I've been talking about Juju Reese, bro. Like it came to me the other day. We was talking about it. I'm just like, DQ center, DC guy. Go ahead and make the connection. Just you know.
I like guys like that.
On a 2-way or something like that. Dude, just go get 10, 12, 14 boards, bro. Just know how to fucking rebound the ball.
I like guys like that. Bassey. There's another guy like Charles Bassey. I think he averaged about 8. Yeah, shout out to H. Bizzle. Rashad Holmes.
Nick Richards.
Nick Richards is still available. I know Rashawn Holmes a little older. I think he overseas.
Is he still overseas right now?
Yeah, probably so. I know he went last year. That motherfucker made a lot of money, then just left. Shout out to him.
You gotta do what you gotta do, though.
Yeah, that's a bunch of guys that would like help without it being like a sexy name. Pause. Because I think sometimes we get caught up with the name brand players, or like it's easier to draw those name brand players. But like with Miles, for example, when people bring up Miles, I always say, all right, but now I need a center.
Yeah.
Like with a lot of people, it's like, you know, shit, I'ma still need a center. Like, like motherfuckers say, well, if you get Sabonis, what that mean for Derek? I'm like, what does it mean for Derek?
What that mean for Derek? Yeah.
Like what does it mean for Derek? Like Sabonis is a head and shoulders better player today, and he rebounds the ball at a crazy rate. Like I don't care if he's not a good defender, because blocking shots don't make you a good defender. Like ending possessions makes you a good defender. Like, can I end this possession?
Absolutely. This is a good point right here too. We was
the PR,
Yeah. Well, because shout out to my partner Mike, and it's been floating around. I don't know how it
Mhm.
ended up. I guess people been like really pushing the Miles Turner
Yeah.
agenda, I guess, lately, and wanting to trade for Miles Turner. It's just kind of like if you give Carlo the extended numbers, the per 36, it looks. And then another thing about Carlo, I don't care what nobody say, the eye test, bro. If you watch the eye
Yeah.
test, and when Carlo gets minutes, he was impactful in his minutes. So like that is bigger than anything. You know
I
what I
think,
mean? As and why
yeah.
is and then what is fucking Miles Turner? He like 28 mil for the next 4-5 years or something like that, huh?
I think so much of it is utilization. I think, of course,
Mm-hmm.
Miles is a better 1-for-1 player. He's not
Mm-hmm.
an angel. But like, yeah, because like Miles don't rebound. He's never rebounded. Like, there's a reason that, like, for the past however many years he was in Indiana, they was like, we just don't believe you.
Yeah,
We just
and
don't,
not to mention Siakam was a relatively good rebounder
Oh,
as well.
Siakam
So
is
like
cold.
they had somebody
Yeah.
that like you had two bigger, body
Yeah.
players, and then they had they were able to like Siakam was able to help cover for Miles in the
Yeah, and
rebounding area. And then
and
Obi
that's an
Toppin was a big fucking
all
player out
NBA,
there.
all defense type guy in Siakam. You had
Absolutely.
Isaiah Jackson. I know. Well, he had tore his Achilles, but Isaiah
Oh, I did not know
Jackson.
that.
Okay, high school. Yeah,
That's dope.
man.
Bring
Yeah,
Julian in here, man.
yeah.
Get DQ a center.
Reunite him, man. Because
Man.
wasn't they together in college as well?
Yeah, they played at Maryland together.
Yeah,
DQ
that's
didn't
the
even play the center at Maryland. He
that,
like Julian Reese was the 5.
yeah, and that's the thing too. While I'm just like, I mean, I know Derek kind of sees. Well, I don't know if he still does, but at one point he saw himself as a center, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
the experiment. We tried the experiment; it didn't really work out. So it's better to pivot early than late.
This is an interesting comment right here. Do you think, and this is off the top of my head based
Yeah,
on reading this comment, Jose used to be the energy guy. Do you think Carlo off the bench is gonna kind of bring that? He's come or is it a little different for like a wing/forward type player to do that. But like Carlo lately had got like big time blocks. He make a 3 or 2. He would get a dunk here, there, something
yeah.
like that.
I
Do you think
think
he's capable of that?
I think he's capable of that. I don't know if that's what you need, but he's capable of that. I think the thing
His
with
game needs to
Carlo,
grow.
much like with Jose, is like the energy shit is cool, but I need you to be good. And if
Yeah.
I need you to be good, then now I got a problem. Now we got a problem. Because
Mm-hmm.
like hypothetically speaking, there's if I brought in someone who's better than Carlo and Carlo just didn't get any run, it'll
Yeah.
be tough for me to find play like you had a lot of guys in there. You had Ryan Bowen back in the day.
Yeah.
Even you had Maurice Bates. You had a ton of guys like
Yeah.
that in the NBA who come in, give you that energy and go sit down.
Mm-hmm.
I think Carlo is going to play in spot minutes. I think he is capable of doing that. But I think if you need him to be more, then you're gonna have to invest in him, and we got to put
Yeah.
on some weight. You got to get him some
I think they
opportunities
gonna
early.
Yeah, I think they're gonna give him that opportunity to like Carlo speaking
Yeah,
of Carlo, give him the opportunity to look, can you I think Mosley gonna give everybody an opportunity. Can
if
you
they can
defend?
defend, yeah,
Can you rebound? If you
I
could do
agree.
that, you gonna stay on the court, bro. Like I'm playing the players that'll be able to do those things. So I don't think you'll see Carlo be used specifically to like, hey, we need you to, change the feeling of the game or change the energy of the game or something like that. I think everything that every player that's going to get an opportunity to play is going to be because of substance over, that shit is cool. Do that make
Shout out to
sense?
the Curry. Yeah, I
Yeah.
absolutely think what you're saying makes total sense. I think Mosley already giving everybody that opportunity to sink or swim. And I think that's what a good coach does. Because look, man, at the end of the day, it ain't gonna never be no perfect situation for nobody in life anywhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? Every situation has some drawbacks. So,
Absolutely.
if it's like, look, yeah, we would have loved to go get the answer for this and the answer for that. Shit, we couldn't do it. But you getting paid, ain't you? You the answer. So
absolutely,
let's maximize what we have available until opportunities present themselves. I think, and I still think they should make moves, but I'm saying I think any good coach is going to have that mentality like, all right, well, fuck, this is what we got. we're gonna make the best of it until we can pivot and make something better happen. I think you got enough guys to where it's like, look, bro, you shouldn't be terrible defensively. Like you should be at least 18, 20. You could get to that point, I think. And if you can't, then some of these people just not who you said they were. Like then DeJounte is not a good defender. Herb might be that good of a perimeter defender anymore.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe Eve ain't take the leap. You know what I'm saying? Maybe man ain't as bought in. Maybe Trey can't ever become a good defender. Like so, you know, some of these things I think are fixable.
They're gonna actually, and they're actually gonna work themselves out.
Yeah, and I still think you should, you know, you still got to address some of it. You got to get some shooters, and I would like to get a high motor rebounding guy. I don't like low motor below the rim players, bro. I just don't like it, though.
Apparently they changing their tune about those too. But actually, I wanted to play this, man. I've been doing some research. You know what I mean? I was able to get one of the Jamal Mosley addressing the team, one of his motivational speeches. Let me go ahead and play that for you.
Nobody believes in you. What are you prepared to do about it? Don't let no one come into your house, take your meal, do what you need to do today. I'm not nervous. I'm just telling you.
Just want to make sure I get that out there. That's Jamal Mosley, man, speaking to the team. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe if you hadn't, share the stream, man. Appreciate y'all for sure.
Indeed.
Got a couple more deals, you know what I mean? We're gonna run through some of these. This is an interesting one. I don't think Orlando would do this, but it's very interesting. Would you do Murray? I know you would fucking do this, but we'll see. Murray, Hawk, and Herb for Franz and Wendell Carter Jr.
Oh yeah, I mean
that's taking on a lot.
Orlando absolutely wouldn't do it. I don't think, unless Franz. If Franz got one more season hurt like this,
that's what I was thinking about.
He'll probably do it.
He got like 4 years at like 40 plus.
But see, then you got to ask yourself, do you want to do it? Because I think Franz is cool, but I think he's cool compared to that tier of players. I don't think Franz is like no great player. I think he just cool. Yeah, you could have stopped that. Yeah, you could have said Murray into cap space. I would say, you know what?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm doing that.
Now you're cooking with gas. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if they do it though with Orlando. This is why though, because hypothetically speaking, let's say
they a really tough tag situation.
They got a terrible situation.
There's no true out for it. Everybody is
they kind of fucked. They really would just have to find a team that took Suggs into cap space. But see, that's the thing. If you're the Pelicans and you clear some space, maybe you could take Franz into space. Maybe you take Suggs into space. Maybe you take like some of these players that they just like, all right, bro, we can't pay Anthony
I can't do
Black.
something with them.
Yeah, we can't pay Anthony Black. Like, we got to move on. Yeah, they probably have to dump Suggs, bro. And I think Suggs would be a great improvement on this team, but I'm only willing to do like DeJounte for Suggs. I wouldn't do Poole for Suggs.
I'm glad you mentioned that because that was one of the ones on my that was the next one on my list. Would you do Poole for Suggs?
Man, I don't
because that's essentially if you let it go of the cap space and it was like, look, you know, it's different to take Anthony Black, but like, you know what I mean?
I wouldn't
can't do it
because I'm still stuck with this nigga. Like just so uninvited, bro. Like just nigga just show up. I'm not trying to personalize it whatsoever. I'm just saying. No, like this nigga gotta get out of here, dog. Like that's what it boils down to, for real.
Talking about Murray?
Yeah, DeJounte gotta go, son. No more Antes, DeJounte.
No more Antes.
Devontae. Like, look now watch. We'll trade for fucking Keontae George, and this nigga be terrible. No more Antes. Like, you be like, how the fuck this keep happening? No more Antes, son. Bro gotta go. I just value that cap space too much, though.
The cap space.
I value that cap space too low.
Here's an interesting one. I know.
Shout out to all y'all in the chat too, man. Shout out to all the homies in here.
Yeah, appreciate y'all, man. Y'all, especially since they just traded the Wizards for Ayton. I said that too. Once they added Ayton and you got
I'm calling about Trey Johnson and Julian Reed.
Boy, listen,
if I can send her
do that, and
look,
give me now, you gotta send a pick probably to get
no,
Trey Johnson.
That's why I don't think so. Because where y'all about to really play Trey? Because you got a ball dominant guy in Trey Young, who you just gave buku bread. You got Anthony Davis. You got AJ. You got Aiden, whatever, with him.
Keyshawn George, Will Riley.
George, what's it do? Bub
Carrington.
Bub. It's like it's too many perimeter guys. Whereas if you the Pelicans,
what you call it, Middleton.
Know what you need? Defense. You need defense, and that's Herb Jones, straight up and down.
They will need somebody to go guard on the wing.
They need
I don't think they're giving up the number 6 overall pick that year too.
But see, this is where they're gonna find themselves. Fuck that. Because this is what every team, when you keep drafting them high picks,
hitters, somebody gotta go.
You gotta pay them motherfuckers. So like, and then you already got AD, you already got Trey, you locked in with Trey. You're not gonna be able to move that contract again.
Nah. No.
So
I like that team though.
They got a lot of talent. They should have a lot of talent. All that fucking tanking them.
That's what I said too. I'm caught, bro. I've been saying all season when we were talking about when the original trade deals were getting announced. I'm like, if I could do like salary and some, but if I ended up getting like because I believe in Trey Johnson, bro. Like if I could bring Trey Johnson over here to kind of fill that role, he's not the height of Trey Murphy, but do I think he could do the off-ball catch and shooting shit at like 100%? Like I think he's like got a little more to his bag as far as like scoring and shit.
Yeah,
I think
he's younger and more cautious. Like shout out to Ron. Ron said it too. Like with Trey Murphy, you paying for height and athleticism and shooting.
Yeah,
and he having a good contract. But even with Trey, like if it was a situation where you can do like Trey for her in like I don't know a second. It depends on what grade you think, because a team would put on her because they're gonna need defense. That's what there's a lot of teams that still could use a Herb Jones. It's just it's contentious.
What the rest of your team look like?
If you got a bunch of offensive only guys, like AD not trying to play no fucking
he trying to play no elite defense. No, he trying to let us and fucking he trying to let Alex Saw play the man. Look, you run the 5. I got it. You know what I mean? I fucking young boy go do that.
Right.
When I learned this in the coach move, they sound like he don't mind getting on your ass versus the clown on the other head. Say, bro, that's what it seemed like. Everything is about accountability, so we'll see. But I really wouldn't mind that Juju Reese deal, bro. Like I target him for sure.
Yeah, either to me, if I can get him or even Bassey, to me that'd be like a nice solid single you hit and find some shooting.
I got a great deal for you. Here's another one of my great deals. Herb Jones for Brook Lopez.
Brooks so fucking washed.
I know. He's probably projected to be their starting center right now. He isn't expired.
And with the Clippers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope he is. I want them bitches to be terrible. But I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it.
I don't think I think Brooke is at like whatever you think Looney
like or Daniel Tice level.
Whatever you think Looney or what's your boy name? DeAndre is right now. Yeah. That's probably what Brooke is.
It ain't even worth expiring.
It's over. Nah, I can get some seconds. I need some seconds. If I get some seconds with it first, yeah, I do it. But
right, so that's a no. All right. Ooh, here's a fun one right here too. Poole, Herb, and Queen. Poole, Herb, and Queen for Embiid.
Nah.
You can't take on that. You can't take
my team not good enough. Like
they're not good enough.
If I was like Philly and I was like, I'm just trying to get to the postseason, and you come back for the postseason, we good. I don't give a fuck if you play 8 games and all. Right. Yeah. So, but with the Pelicans, it's like, nah, I need somebody that's gonna be can play each and every night.
Be able to come out there and help Embiid in a wheelchair too.
Yeah.
We need out that motherfucker, boy.
That motherfucker's amazing. When he played, he like bro, when Greg Oden was in Miami for them 3 minutes, when he got on the court for them 3 minutes, you was like, damn, this is why
he still got it.
Yeah, come on, man, you can do it. But it's like, nah.
Okay, that's funny. All right, here's another one. It's a fun one too.
Oh, make sure y'all hit the like button, fam.
Yeah, man, my bad, bro. Appreciate y'all, though. Make sure your favorite comic book character, Professor X. That's a good one. Dude, listen, I thought about it because I'm like, that address your center position. Embiid will probably retire. He ain't giving up his 60 mil, but he'll be on some Brandon Ingram. I'm only giving you 18 games. I'm not healthy. He barely played for Philly, and apparently he loved Philly. He definitely ain't playing.
The Pelicans need, bro. The Pelicans need players that just don't be having no hype surrounding them. Some get it out the mud type, but they gotta be talented too. They can't just be from a fucked up place. They gotta be like talented, get it out the mud type players. Because Embiid at this point, he
done too much.
It's so much glory. He don't give
a fuck. I done done I'm an MVP. I'm a fucking Olympic champ. You saw what I did, Joker, in the Olympics. I'm still that guy.
He's not a serious player. Like at this stage, maybe he will now with Jalen there. But
I'll catch him in the playoffs, bro.
Yeah, I'll catch him.
He ain't worried. All right, here's one. Sadiq Bey and Jordan Hawkins. Yeah, I know that's for Nikola Jovic.
Nah.
Miami Heat Jovic. Wouldn't do that one either.
Nope.
I know you get rid of Hawk for anything, but Sadiq Bey only $6 million right now.
I ain't because I cut Hawkins. Really, I'd rather cut him and have Sadiq on a shorter
on a
contract.
Similar deal.
Yeah, on a similar deal to Jovic. And I like Jovic, actually. I would trade Herb for Jovic 1-for-1. I like Jovic.
Okay.
But
so that's why I ain't throw Herb in that deal right there.
Yeah, because it would have been too easy.
It'd be too easy to throw Herb in that deal.
I wouldn't do it.
No, okay. It's another no.
And I like Jovic.
Yeah, I know that. I figured that one would be tough.
Yeah.
Here's another straight up one. Poole and Herb. I know you'll do. Two parts. Poole and Herb for Franz.
I'd do it, but I don't know, because Franz been really fucked up lately, and Franz to me ain't like no great player. He's like cool. He's like a cool, solid player, but 40 fucking million.
45 of them hoes.
45 million, and I'm sacrificing my space. I'd do it.
Ooh, now this was the thing. This was the kicker. Like, Orlando not doing that.
Oh well, it depends.
Let me ask you. Well, would you be willing to throw a pick in to do that, or any pick you all is
they can eat a dick. I ain't giving them nothing because y'all ain't got no wins in the situation. This man always fucking hurt. He always got something weird going on. And in fact, I'm not sure, and I have no evidence of this. I'm not even sure Mosley would want him.
That's a really good. I always thought of that, bro, because we talk about like the Orlando players and Anthony Black and Wendell Carter and all of those dudes, bro. Maybe Mosley like fuck that whole roster. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that he is, but just respectfully, like he's like, man, leave them bitches where they at.
Let me put some respect on Franz's name, because I might be going too far based on recent history. Franz is a very talented player, very good player.
Yes,
can't shoot really.
Yes,
not a great shooter. More of a 4 than anything. Him and Paolo pretty much play the same position.
Yeah.
And he's only really had like a season and a half of like real bad injuries. So I would do it. I would just have to have the best medical staff possible, like we got here.
We got.
This is a side note. I want to say this. The Pelicans need to hire Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. They need to go hire Mahmoud Abdul Rauf.
Mahmoud?
Because Jordan Meeks is gone. You need a new shooting. He wasn't good when he was here, but you need a new shooting coach.
What was his real name? Chris
Jackson.
Chris Jackson. Okay.
Yep. Look, Louisiana, Mississippi connection.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Can shoot the lights out. Go get my mood, man. Go get the homie.
I ain't mad with hiring Mahmoud at, having that LSU connection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Keep. They doing a good job of bringing in people from the state anyway. You might as well throw somebody on that coaching staff as well. Where they kept Greg, I'm surprised at that.
Me too. And look, and even with Mahmoud, it's like that's another dude you can say, don't get it fucked up. I get buckets, son.
I really
today.
Oh, I know he was playing in the Big Three.
He playing Big Three. It's like today, y'all not beating me in like a shooting contest. Like Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, that go get him, son. I'm telling you, shooting coach Mahmoud. I'm campaigning. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, go bring your brother in the building.
Bruh, if you had if you had Mahmoud and Sham on your coaching staff,
that's an incredible staff, bro.
Yeah, and that's a great selling point.
He'd be our best shooter. Yeah,
that's a great that's a great selling point to your like if you was trying to, look, I'm trying to reorganize or resituate or rebrand the Pelicans organization, right? If you start saying stuff like, hey, we got established Coach Mosley, we still got Sham guy, who had the development with
and these dudes can still get out on the court. Like,
man, they still out there doing it
on the court, man.
Yeah, and listen, man, the only person who was probably getting on the court for you, I know Greg still played in the Big Three. What's his name, man? Brewer obviously still was playing and what, but even still, respectfully, bro, Chris Jackson. Now Greg is more like a Louisiana legend, but Mahmoud is a different level of legend.
Not like the NBA like Warriors legend.
It's like a different level of greatness. Sham God is a different level of greatness.
Like I've worked with like the top of the top.
Yeah. So I think, man, listen, bro, I think you gotta have them.
I'm gonna call him.
I would.
I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna see if I can get him on the line.
Hey, I got it, lady. Y'all talk about Trisha Speed if it's gonna affect the trade situation. We actually can talk about this right now. No, listen. The thing that I think the deals that Detroit has been making, one has been signaling they don't really think they have a true chance of getting Trey, or that
I saw something like that today, yeah.
Or New Orleans is pretty much signal if you're not starting to deal with a sword, we ain't nothing to talk about. So it's either two things I think have happened. It's either they understand that Trey is really not an option for them, and they starting to pivot. And for example, like maybe they were holding up on the Duran deal because they wanted to see if they could get Trey. And then, you know what I mean? Maybe renegotiate the numbers or something like that. If that's not the case, I think it's like, all right, look, we either willing to give up a sword or we're not willing to give up a sword. And then that like it's time to move on. So I just think those moves signal to me is like Trey is not really as much of an option for them. What you think?
I don't think they need Trey. I think
I'm of that mindset as well, but I don't think Trajan feel like that.
Yeah, I kind of think they barking up the wrong tree in that situation, and it kind of makes me wonder who's initiating those particular talks, because
that's a great point.
It was like, do you want a SAR or do they want Trey? Like, you know what I'm saying? It kind of makes me wonder who's necessarily initiating those talks, because they need an on-ball creator. At this point, you got Tyron Prince, you got Duncan Robinson. This guy is always good with shooting. Like they signed John Collins. You got a bunch of shooters. You only got one real on-ball creator as it currently stands. So I think they're more inclined to go get another on-ball creator, because the only other creator you had was Tobias and Karis LeVert, who you just traded.
Yeah.
So you need a person that could kind of give. You need DeJounte, honestly.
Yeah. Like realistically, bro.
Realistically,
like,
you need DeJounte.
I'm not bullshitting, though. I'm not bullshitting. If they came to you and said, "What's the numbers for DeJounte?" Let's say the deal that they was wanting for trade, they offered for DeJounte, I'd probably take it.
What deal?
You know how
Oh, you're
there's
talking
like
about Levert and like salary.
report.
Yeah,
It was
if
like
it was
Holland. It was like Holland, Levert. So in this case, maybe Holland and who did they get?
I don't
Torian
need
Prince?
Holland. But if they did want to make the money work, if it was like Holland and Duncan or some shit like that,
Yeah, you still got to
that.
get to that 30 mil or something like that.
Well, it depends on how much space, because they got space. So it depends on, but you still got to pay them.
Yeah.
So if they had enough space to do it, then you could they need like a Poole or a DeJounte. You need a nigga that could dribble the ball and create.
You ain't doing this. You ain't sending Poole over there for nobody. I already know.
Well, nah,
34 mil expired.
Not for what they got. Not for what they got.
Saying. Like, for example, a sign and trade for Duren, I'd probably consider it, but you would have to send because it would solve a lot of your issues. But
to me, I think they installed themselves out of Oh yeah. I know they just traded Levert to the Bucks. But yeah, to me, they
need scoring. They don't need they need scoring and playmaking. They have enough shooters per se out there, in my opinion.
To me, at this point, I wouldn't give up nothing but picks and salary for Duren.
I forgot all about John Collins.
Yeah, John Collins, another great pickup for them. I think depending on how you feel about Stewart, offensively, he's head and shoulders a better player. Now, defensively, we'll see. But to me, the Duren trade package, to me, that shit done dropped. I don't think they got no interest in doing it anyway. But I wouldn't offer more than like salary and a couple picks at this point. I wouldn't even offer trade no more because he's a distressed asset. He's a publicly distressed asset. No matter what's going on with Trey, it ain't public.
Right.
At this point. Like, no matter what's going on, it's not public at this point. So with this dude, it's public. He's publicly distressed. He's wilding out.
He's wilding out.
Wilding out. Agent wilding out. Fuck that. Like,
it's tough to get you when you want your money, bro. That's a real concern, man.
With Levert being gone, it would have to be like
him and
it would
Dennis
be tough
Jenkins
for them to even trade for anybody at this point. You got to just bring Duren back.
Yeah, I don't understand why they let Tobias.
I think he probably got tired of waiting. You know,
I think he decided to go. Yeah. And if you saw where he went, right? He went to San Antonio. He was like, "Bro, I'm going to an organization that's trying to compete. They got an idea. They got a plan." Respectfully, Trajan might be losing his shit over there. This man might not, because he let Beasley walk the first.
Well, he ain't let Beaslly walk.
Well, Beasley almost went to jail. But he wasn't getting extended anyway. But like him, they're about to say, they lowball Tobias. That's not surprising. They thought they was gonna get trade.
Where they fucked up at, and people talk about Troy holding people for too long. Not saying that he doesn't or he didn't in Detroit. They held Tobias too long.
Yeah,
in Detroit.
That first good year.
Yeah, because the shit they did with Isaiah Joe. We forgot about Isaiah Joe. The shit they did with Isaiah Joe, they were supposed to be doing that with Tobias and them. Like, we gonna give you these bump contracts, give us your bad contracts and some picks, and nobody did it except for
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut.
Nobody did it. To me, that was a weird move by the Spurs because I don't feel like you needed Tobias if you're the Spurs.
I think they'd rather have Tobias and have that player as opposed to having to depend on Keldon Johnson or have another version of Keldon Johnson, or if because let's say Champagne only, if he wasn't shooting, he wasn't as effective. I think you'll have another player you could throw out there in that role that'll be able to do a little bit more veteran guy than what they was able to do.
Because let's say Harrison Barnes at this point is just like a regular season guy, season vet mentor type guy. But now you gotta think like Dylan Harper probably not going another season without starting. Whether he's starting at the 3 or starting at the 2 or whoever starting. Yes, it depends if Detroit's gonna trade him at the end of the season. Yeah, because they probably felt like this was our window, this is our opportunity, and you blew it.
And you know what else happens too, in my opinion? I think part of what Trajan fucked up at, and This
That
is,
nigga sucks.
I feel like he learned this from Griff, bro. I think there was a path to success, right? And then I think they got a little bit better than what he thought they was gonna get, a little too fast. Like you was on pace for 60, right?
That's
Well,
kind
not
of what
on
he
pace,
said.
motherfucker. You got it.
Yeah.
But when you was happening, you didn't just say, like, fuck it, let's go try and go get it. Let's go try and go get it. That's what always the problem with the Pelicans as well, right? It's kind of like you'll see, like in the 42 win season, right? The year they ended up losing and playing before the 49 win season. Like when you get to certain like the trade deadline, bro, you don't go get Josh Richardson. You go get a guy that actually can help, carry the team in the second half of the season when the team is winning. So like with Detroit last year at the trade deadline, bro, you had opportunity to really go get a player that could probably help Cade, help Durant, and help those dudes, and you ain't do it. And now you in a situation where it's just kind of like, I don't know if we could replicate that.
It's two ways to look at it, right? Like we call it lightning in the bottle a couple times. Mm-hmm. And the other way to look at it is, I'm winning. Like, how can you say I didn't do it right? I won doing it my way. I expect the players will join the Pelicans next year once the team has cap space free agents. But several players out there for 1-year deals this season. I hope so. I think again, man, if the Pelicans can start trimming some of that fat now with DeJounte going in the next season or Herb going in the next season, like because them extensions are kind of crazy. Like again, that's why I'm a lot less eager to trade Poole, because I'm like, his value can only go up and he's expiring.
Same thing with him and Hawkins too, but I get what you're saying as far as buying Hawkins out and creating the space. Now you can still get you an expiring player for what Hawkins would go for.
Yeah, like if they ain't, because to me it's only like if they, like, hypothetically speaking, let's say they wanted to buy Hawkins out. Let's say it cost like $5 million or something like that. Because if I'm Hawkins, I ain't turning down nothing with my collar. So I'm like, what? Like let's say you get lucky. Let's say he take $4 million. All right, $4 million, cool, man. You go. Then that give you another $3 million that help you get to about 12, something like close to 12 before you start hitting the luxury tax. Or even if you just waive and stretch them, and that'll save you $4 million. So now you're over 12, and it's like a $2 million cap hit for the next couple of years. I can understand not wanting to carry that the next couple of years. I do get it, but it's like I just can't imagine anybody like. Look, I totally get extended Hawkins for salary matching purposes. People do it all the time. When it's the Pelicans, people kind of want to judge it more critically, but people do it all the time. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Just for salary matching purposes. But it's like if something don't come to fruition, at what point do you cut bait? And that like gets to be the question. Because there's a lot of good free agents left, bro.
Let me ask this. Do you think the reason of not cutting bait is more because if this was David Griffin, hypothetically, maybe he would have already cut bait because he had the player longer, as opposed to Joe. It's only been
he only had 1 season,
2 seasons. Yeah, so it's just kind of like, fuck it. I'll just, instead of paying to let him go, it ain't hurting me to just let him sit there and let him expire or whatever. Like I don't feel like David Griffin's pressure, if he was still here, of Hawkins being a failure, would be extremely different than with Joe. Like Joe Dumars don't ever get any questions about Jordan Hawkins. Damn near any other player.
Shit on the internet he do. I mean, from local people who cover the team who kind of pretend to be a little like aloof when it comes to like cap mechanics. It's like, man, y'all know goddamn well you needed that salary to pull off a trade. Like, you know what I'm saying? How could you because the only mid-level salary you have aside from Hawkins would be what? Fears, Fit, and Herb.
You ain't moving none of them. Yeah,
Herb. You're not moving Fears. You're probably not moving Queen, and so it would be Herb because you just traded 3 mid-level salaries in Olynyk, Larry Nance, and Dyson
Brown. Well, Bruce fell off.
Expired. So it's a lot of things that happen, and people pretend to be aloof. My question, I guess we could transition to like the Troy and Joe segment, unless we have more trades. But
no, I'm done. That's good.
My question would be, what do you consider a mistake, and are you willing to take the L on certain things? Because like one thing I say with David Griffin, this motherfucker was a mistake-making person.
Yes.
And every time he made a mistake, he had to pay to get rid of the mistake. Now, people gave him credit. I'll keep it real, boy. It's hard being black because fuck, they got people cover the team, and you Griff made some mistakes, but he paid to get rid of them every time. He signed Steven Adams to the extension, and he gave up a protected first to get rid of him, to turn into Zaire Williams. Ultimately, the Pelicans ended up with Trey Murphy, and he got Jonas. Hey, he let Jonas expire. Hey, he fucked up bringing in Devontae Graham, but he traded 4 firsts to get rid of him. He fucked up bringing up Kyra Lewis. He traded 4 seconds to get rid of him. He brought in Kyra Lewis. He traded a second to get rid of him. He drafted Didi Lozada. Is that like, all right, you don't get credit for mopping after you spilled the fucking water. Don't spill the water.
Same thing with Stan. Yeah. Listen, bro, the one thing Joe can't do, and I know Joe not gonna do this. Boy, Mosley better not be out after this year.
Oh yeah. You can't fight because that was, to me, like, people say
that was the beginning of the end, bro.
And I'm not like a Gail person either, because I don't know if she really cares about winning like that. People say what they want. Gail was paying like 3 coaches at one time.
Yeah, and you trying to fire another one? For
what?
Why would I let you fire somebody?
Like, bro, Stan Van Gundy had like a 5-year deal. Not only was she paying those coaches, she kept this motherfucker whole staff. Like for years and years. Like that was crazy. Like that was a crazy, unforgivable mistake David Griffin made, and the Brandon Ingram trade. But like with Troy and them, to me, I think the hiring of Amanda Green and bringing in some people on the analytics side of things. I think
that's let me do this real quick. Let me play this, and then we'll transition into this, because part of what I think is happening is the frustration is starting to seep in from year one, and we got to get a lot of shit under control. So this is my version of us just getting stuff under control.
I'm not angry, except when you keep repeating you're angry, and that shit's fucking annoying, like a fucking gnat at a barbecue, just bugging the fuck out of me.
Good. I want you to say, I'm angry. It's okay. I'll process my anger. I love myself. Woozah.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yes, you do know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I feel like that's what them conversations in the front office are probably like, bro, trying to figure out what the fuck going on. She's trying to figure out what's going on up there. Probably try to talk Joe down to get Troy under, under control. Though, to your point that you was making with the new hirings, with the new front office and whatnot. And when I say the new front office is, I think Joe came in and had to assess everything, right? And the only person he truly brought with him was his son and Troy, right? If I'm not mistaken, when they initially got hired.
Oh, and then the guy, he brought in a scout as well, a couple scouts.
Yeah, in the scout, right? Yeah. So when they come in and they have to start making decisions, like Joe, from what I remember of Joe was like a overseer back, you know what I mean? Back in his day. He's not really a micromanager. That's the word I'm looking for. Not really a micromanager. They say he was always good with letting people do their jobs. I think he allowed Troy year one to do his job, right? A lot of the players that were brought in seemed like Troy's players to a degree, right? Like Jordan Poole was with Troy in Washington. Sadiq Bey, they said Troy brought Sadiq Bey with him a couple different places. He
drafted him and
he drafted him
in Washington as well,
in Washington with him, and then now brought him over to New Orleans, and Joe probably signed off because he has the the Detroit,
Yeah,
connection or whatever. But even if you remember the Jordan Poole interview, Joe said verbatim in his interview, hey, Troy was selling Jordan as, hey, he's a young guy, he's the same age, he's gonna mesh really well. And that's not to say that wasn't the case, but a lot of the moves, right, that people found to be very aggressive were Troy's moves. So we, as discussing this, do we feel that like the lack of movement, right, and the hiring of the overseers and those people getting in the place of Amanda Green, what's the other guy's name? AJ, right? The other guy, those people that they brought in are kind of to a little more micromanage the moves. What's your thoughts? I know we started talking about it, and I got a list of some of Troy's moves, and we'll talk about that and just kind of like dive into this conversation a little bit.
Well, I think there's a familiarity there with Troy, of course. It could have potentially been someone Troy advocated for, with them having a relationship dating back to OKC. I also think that, when they got hired like in the beginning of the offseason. They didn't really get ushered in through the end of the regular season. They probably should have got hired in like December. Or right after the trade deadline. If they would have been hired right after the trade deadline, they would have had much more time to build things out, evaluate things. But them being hired directly at the end of the season, the transition from bringing in new people, firing everybody, it would have been really tough to do that.
You're really in a rush, like to get anything done, especially if the team just won 21 games. You're like, okay, we got to try and do something to fucking do to get this right.
It makes you wonder how much even evaluation went into scouting. Like, how much did you really watch Derek? Like, how much did you really watch Fears? Like, how much time did you really have on task in that department? Because again, Troy Weaver was in Washington, so he's probably preparing for a top 3 pick, top 6 at minimum. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's probably not looking at the back end of the lottery and shit like that. Joe was in the league office, so you know what I'm saying. So point. So they kind of, even if they were advocating for the job, or if someone came to them like, Joe, we need you in New Orleans, bro. Like, this is a shit show. We need you to come down here and clean this up. He wasn't in the building just yet, so he couldn't really evaluate till he got there. And I mean, look, your record is your record. Like, for as like Troy has a history of having some questionable trades. For as drafting, he's hit way more often than he's missed. But he has a history of potentially having some questionable trades, and you could ask how much of that was attributed to him versus ownership versus this versus that. But your name on it.
I'm gonna say this, similar to Chris Brown, bro. Troy Weaver got a type. Troy Weaver got a type. Like, Chris, all of his chicks look a lot alike. Troy Weaver, here's some of Troy Weaver's signings: Plumlee, Okafor, Luka Garza, Kelly O,
Jaleel Okafor you talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jaleel. So let's see. Stewart, these are the ones that I think are a little bit different. Stewart, I think, is a little bit different. Right? Because I think Stewart is more like a defensive first guy. But again, you brought in, he traded for Nerlens Noel. So Nerlens Noel, Plumlee, Okafor, Luka Garza, Kelly Olynyk. He brought in Trey Lyles, Marvin Bagley, James Wiseman, Jalen Duren, and Queen recently.
Okay.
So, like, if I look at, especially like the more recent players, right? Like Queen, Wiseman, Bagley.
He brought in Bagley twice.
Yeah, in Detroit and in Washington, right? Even Kelly Olynyk, to a degree, kind of fits the mold similarly to like what those guys' play styles are a little bit, kind of like, I don't want to say like stretch fours, but like more like versatile fours, I guess, like playmaking fours, I guess. Would that be the way to call it?
That's not how I would classify it, but that's
I don't really know what to classify. Like Wiseman Wiseman was supposed to be a center, but Wiseman had more like he put the ball on the floor. We're supposed to be able to handle it.
I think he has an affinity for reclamation projects and non-spectacular bigs.
Non-spectacular? What you mean by non-spectacular?
Non-spectacular as in like Bagley aside, because he didn't draft Bagley, but he would be a reclamation project, right? Him and Wiseman, they would be reclamation projects. But like
he took Bagley on very early too. Like Bagley was
he traded for him and extended him.
Yeah,
he traded
that's
for him
what
and
like
yeah, like I think he probably just not like a person who likes great athletes like that, because like Kelly Olynyk below the rim guy, Trey Lyles below the rim tweener, Derek Queen below the rim tweener, like even Jalen Darren is like 6'9", like you know what I'm saying, like he's not like a huge center. He's got some spring to him, but he's still like a more of an undersized big Stewart, like 6'8", 6'9", like you know what I'm saying. He's not.
The only true big people he brought in Okafor, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Jaleel Okafor, but that's another guy, below the rim, non-spectacular big. Even though when he got drafted, you would have thought he would have did something. But like, Troy just needs to stop drafting fucking bigs, bro. Like, I ain't trying to tell nobody how to do their job. Just don't do it no more. You don't do it no more. One in New Orleans is enough. Leave it alone. Like, leave it alone. Do something different. Like, no more.
I think part of why, that's part of why, like I think they cut Troy off. It's like, all right, no more drink, no more drink.
Like, take those guys.
Yeah. No, hey, him, no more for him. Like I think
no more for you, bro.
Yeah, I really feel like that's kind of what's going on. Like, and
Look.
No, I'm for real. I think that's kind of what happened. He was, he got there, he was willing and dealing. And he was like, "Oh, bro, listen, because he said, man, Troy loves big men, right? He'll have, bro. In Detroit, but he had like five bigs at a time. None of these motherfuckers really could play. So it's just kind of, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful to the player, but I just think Joe at this point is like, whoa. We got to take a step back.
I need you in an advisory role.
Yeah,
I need you scouting players. And you gotta filter it through us. Like we gotta. Yeah. I can't let you just run wild with the credit card no more.
No.
Who knows what you might have done? I think
Troy at the mall again. Troy in the mall again.
I think that's like one of the things you could potentially be looking at as far as one of the reasons things have moved a little slowly. Like, I just look at the history of some of the deals involving certain people, and I'm just like, I don't know if the new analytics people would have approved that in hindsight.
Yeah.
But again, like you jump into the job, the draft is in, like you got hired in what, like fucking May, April? The draft in June. Like you hit
the ground running, bro.
Right. You don't know what's gonna happen with Zion. You don't know what's gonna happen with this. Like everything's new happening around here. So I can understand the haste.
Yeah, and then Joe came. They had to sort the Zion because Zion had his own off the court
going on
situation at the time. We like, look, me and Gail gotta sort this out. Everybody want the coach gone. I got to figure out the coach. Fucking Pete DeJounte on the pivot, talking about the medical staff and with all of this is like, you know what, Troy, handle the roster. Can you handle the roster?
I got to get relationships.
I got to get the rest of this shit in line. And then you look up, and it's like we traded an unprotected first. Yeah, we need a look, man. We need more assets. We got to get back in this draft. Okay. You ain't want to wait till after the series. We got to do it now. They called. We called. They answered. They said they'll do it. They said
what would have changed, really? Like I don't know. But
we do it,
man. Oh my god! But
then we do it.
Look, man. It all depends on how people feel. Like it all depends on how people feel. I do think that they had to probably put some guardrails up with dealing with Troy and his aggressiveness, because there's too many links that go back to Troy that would have you thinking like, All right, hold on now, Troy. This is too much of a coincidence, brother. And these don't strike the public as good deals at face value. I
Yeah.
understand where you was going with this.
Well,
I understand the logic because you ain't know what was gonna happen with Zion. And you might really like Derrick Queen. Like again, some people love Derrick Queen, bro. So
and a lot of people say DQ is the Zion replacement. It's like if Zion is not there, then you can play DQ in that. Not that he'll be Zion, but you can play him in that role. You know what I mean? I know you don't because you don't.
No, I'm just saying, look, bro, when you need to get to work, it don't matter if you take the bus or drive yourself. You got to get to work. And so I understand everybody's perspective on that. But at the end of the day, sometimes you got to have some guardrails with ambition. I think you know, 2 picks was a little ambitious. I think you're at a point now to where it's become neutral from an asset standpoint, maybe not from a team building standpoint. Still got some answers there, but it's pretty neutral. If I'm not mistaken, they kept on the prior assistant GM. I have to look more into that, ask some questions.
I think they brought somebody in. Not brought somebody. I thought they had somebody that was here in the assistant GM.
Yeah, they had that person, and I think they may have kept him on. Or you might have Amanda who's fundamentally acting as an assistant GM.
That's kind of how I view it. Like the Amanda hire is effectively like quality control for all moves. And you know what I mean? All moves, salary related and stuff like that. It's kind of like, look, we're not telling anybody how to do their job, but it's kind of like, nah, before we pull the trigger on anything, y'all need to run that by HR. Yeah, and then Adam, there you go, Adam Barnes. That's dude's name. Yeah, appreciate it. Boy,
Thank you. That's the homie right there.
Yeah, DQ and a Zion replacement. DQ don't get his BS together. They'll be looking for his replacement soon. That's another. Listen, man. This is what I come. Ultimately, the decision I come to of this season with DQ and all of these players. If you don't look a certain type of way this season. You got this season, bro, and I think everything is in place for everybody to be moved in the ideal type of way. I think Amanda Green being here, Mosley being here. I think Joe truly believes in Mosley and what he wants to build. You got Mosley look fuck. We don't care what the roster look like. We gonna go out and do what we gotta do regardless. He got his full staff and his his security with the long term deal
contract. 5 years.
Yep. So I think to this point, it's kind of like, look, bro, if you don't shape up, DQ, Herb, whoever, Trey, whoever, everybody I think everybody on like a show and prove year 2 or will absolutely be willing to pivot. And I think that's kind of fair.
Well, there's 2 types of people, right? There's people who understand and there's people who are wise. Understanding is learning from your mistakes. Yes, tell what to do. You're not gonna do it like that. Like, look, understanding is learning from your mistakes. Wisdom is learning from other people's mistakes. So in some circumstances, I think it would behoove you to learn from some others' mistakes and maybe try to clear your books for going into next year, and that seems to be the plan. And just because everything isn't communicated, or at least it might be communicated, but it ain't made public. Just because everything ain't made public, don't mean people not working behind the scenes. But I do think, and I want to give Troy a little bit of respect and grace because Troy's had Westbrook, Duran, Troy.
He's landed a lot. I mean, if you give him credit for Fizz, I guess technically you can say right now he landed on Fizz.
Yeah, you gotta give him credit for the good things and which you may consider bad that looks like it, today anyway. In fact, let's go through his moves.
Let me ask you this: Do you think Troy because Do you think Herb's numbers, like his extension numbers, are good or bad? Like, what do you think of Herb's numbers?
Bad, terrible,
Bad.
awful.
Sadiq Bey extension coming up is going to tell you a lot, because say what you want about David Griffin. David Griffin did a really good job with the numbers.
He's good with contracts.
He was great
very
with
good with
he was
contracts.
great with the contract. So I ain't gonna knock him for that one.
Well,
If you-
except for what he tried to do with Brandon, but aside from that,
but ultimately Brandon shot himself in the foot. But
yeah, thank God.
with Sadiq Bey, that's gonna be the first true opportunity to, like, whenever that extension gets announced, to see like what they really.
Happens.
You don't think they're gonna? What you mean?
No, I'm saying if it happens, because I mean, there's a world where Sadiq Bey might want too much money, and they just like, nah, fuck out of here. Like,
we'll play out the year, and then
not that, they might be like, oh no, you gotta go. Like,
he got $6 million. They ain't gonna let him. They ain't gonna just.
There's a world, because I mean, he's gonna be unrestricted. So if there's just no way y'all could come to a resolution, like if he wants the max money available, which if I'm his agent, that's what I'm asking for. But if he wants the max money available, I'm like, you're not getting that. So like, and if you're him, you like, I'm not going into the season on a $6 million deal with no security, because what if I get hurt?
That's why I'm wondering.
So now I kind of want to need to do this deal now, but I think if you're him, and maybe if you're Zion, if neither one of them get extensions this July or upcoming season, I think the writing kind of on the wall for them. Like, we nigga probably about to move on, or we gonna trade them or what have you. Because if I'll say that because if I'm them, I'm not going into the final year of my deal with no extension, no real prospects as a free agent. And no like injury insurance, like, because for Sadiq Bey, he'll get the most money he's gonna get here.
Yeah, I think Z and Sadiq a little different, because Sadiq on his last year right now, Z at least got this year and next year.
Yeah, but it's non-guaranteed. So if you Zion, you're like, man, and I'll say this: Zion's extension, his contract being guaranteed last year, him hitting the benchmarks to do that was very, very important to him. I'll say that without saying too much. It was very important to him. So I think if you don't see an extension, it'll probably be because the money just a little too. I'm not going higher than 18, honestly.
Talking about for Sadiq Bey?
Yeah,
I can't do that either. Also, Zion's extension eligible July 15th. I don't think there's any way. I don't think there's any way that they sign an extension with Zion this year unless they're gonna offer him something like in the 30s.
Years.
In the 30s,
I don't know about in the 30s. You think?
I'm saying like third. Let's have that conversation, right?
Well, let's get to the Troy. Let's get to the.
I don't even have Troy moves pulled up. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, okay. Well, now we talk about the extension.
Yeah, you about to say if you got him, I was looking through him and was just kind of like. I
think it got to start at 40.
I
would love for him to say I'm gonna take less, but I think it got.
Why would you think it got to start? The only reason I think it might have to start at 40 is because Brandon at 40.
Yeah, I think, but I just think that's unless he has an incredible year, unless he say I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna have this amazing year. If he gonna bet on himself, cool. But like, 40 I think you ain't getting below 40 because he's like, well, fuck it out. But see, here's the thing: he's a person as a free agent, he wouldn't get that money unless he had a great year. As a free agent, it's probably in the 20s. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I mean, you can strong arm him, but then
I ain't saying do that. Yeah. So like, I look at it this way: if he play this year, if he plays this year, like let's say there's no extension, and then go into the last year of his deal, because I think this season, the season that just passed, was like, bro, show me you healthy, right? The season coming up, show me you could like on the court, you could carry, or like how far you could be as being like the best player. We got the better coach and all of this. We're gonna try and get you a center, whatever the situation may be. Show me you work the 45 to 50 because go ahead.
No, but
No,
another
you good.
thing, and again, maybe you learn from your mistakes. I don't know. Another thing is like if y'all extended her early, why wouldn't you extend Sadiq or Zion early?
And so again, if you offer Zion an extension right now, like again, July 15th, he's gonna offer the extension, but like, do you want to be on the hook for Zion money?
I mean,
for 3 more seasons?
I think you probably looking at like a 2-3 year extension anyway. I think because by the time he fall off the books, Fears is due for his new contract. You know what I'm saying? Like a couple different things ends up happening. I think everybody's contracts are going to be pretty much tied to when the first round picks are due for an extension. Yeah, if they decide to stick with Zion and Bay and all those things. But yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I think
I don't say he ain't getting no max.
No, fuck no, he ain't getting no max. But like if Z don't sign an extension this year with all of the work, like let me ask you this: would you sign an extension if you was Z this year? Or would you bet on yourself?
Yeah, sign that fucking extension. You ain't got no like Zion don't have a history of playing like back-to-back seasons, playing like a bunch of games.
Great.
So now you better sign that extension. No, I just meant being available. I don't even.
Do they have I'm just saying, do they have a number? Do they have a number that you would like? Fuck it, I'm going into the last year.
I don't think Zion's stupid because at the end of the day, your contract not guaranteed. So like he could just get cut realistically. So it would behoove him to extend as soon as possible.
Again, if it's let's say it's 38, 40, 45 type numbers, you think he look at that as disrespect?
I don't think he look at it
like
disrespect
during
necessarily.
Numbers.
I don't think he look at it disrespectful necessarily. But shit, Darren looking at it disrespect. If I say this, if he took that, he would be doing it on some cool shit. Like he would be like on some Jalen Brunson.
That's what I was thinking too. Like on some. Let me. That's what I'm for. No, you can't. I don't think you could commit 45 to Z though. And I love Z. Like Z would have to have an all NBA type year for me to commit to 45 with the inconsistencies that you just mentioned.
I can't imagine him getting that, to be honest. I think his contract will probably either be the same or less. He making 44 next year. His final year, he'll be making 44. So I can see him, depending on what happens. Regardless of what happens, I can see him trying to shore up that extension sooner than later. I wouldn't be shocked if his deal was like fucking 3 years, 130, or something along those lines. I just can't see a world to where he would
turn it down if they offered it to him.
Yeah, either that or like ask for 50 or ask for more than that. Like I think you're looking at like a Brandon type extension because you don't really have a free agent market. Your contract's non-guaranteed. If you don't sign this extension, I could just cut you. Like if I wanted to be an asshole about it, they're probably not gonna do that. But I'm just saying,
I think they try something in like the 3 years, 3-year type deal. Even I don't think you get in the 4th year, but like a 3-year deal, like he might max out at like 42 in the deal. You know what I'm saying? Like 42 a season, something like that.
I can see it. I would like for him to do it. Like I would love for it to be 38, 40, 42. But I think just for like ego purposes alone,
I need 40, 41, 42, something like that.
I need a 4, probably. Now I'll say this: if he get 38, shout out to him because I appreciate you. He saved us a couple million. But
I mean, that might be part of the discussions. It's like, look, give me that first number at 38 or whatever, or whatever that is, and then we got.
If you Zion, you done made so much money from other shit. That's what kind of separate him.
Man, they got no shoe deal right now.
But I already got the money. Like, it's over. Like, I done got the Mountain Dew check already. I done got this check and that check. Like, this nigga had more endorsements than anybody coming into the league. So it's like, I'm still spending money from 88. If you Zion, because Zion, he live in New Orleans. So, and he ain't got no crazy, like,
he got no crazy habits.
Yeah, he ain't living shy. Like he ain't living like this nigga house is 18 stories.
Well, he do have an expensive habit.
Yeah, you know, that's 2 G's here and there. You know what? I think if it's 40, they'll sign that today. I hope he'll take 38 and start at 38 to help a nigga out. But I think if it's 40, he'll sign that today.
I don't think they're gonna do incentive. I don't think it's gonna be incentive. I think Joe gonna just give him his bread, keep him, especially if he with the work that he's putting in off the court and how everybody's talking about how he looks and how focused he in. I don't think Joe gonna play.
I can even see a situation where they like, look, if you could do something like guarantee this deal, like guarantee the 44. And
I'll hold you down on the
other shit. I can see him potentially doing something like that. But it's in his incentive to sign that bitch ASAP.
Yeah, facts. So
I'm all
about it, dog. Spend that bread, bro.
But learn
keep yourself happy.
But this is what you do. Go to the library and print some NDAs. That's the problem. Print some NDAs. I don't even think Mariah cost that much because they probably had all kind of like browsers and all. With all them companies, they don't be paying nothing to them girls. Browsers, but let's move on. Let's keep basketball.
Yeah. So this is like the question about Louisiana girl. If the Pelicans hit on Fears and DQ ends up being a bust, what is the 2026 draft a success or a failure? Fears would have to be so good for DQ to be a bust and then not be considered a failure.
Or you say, well, I'm sorry, say.
If the Pelicans hit on Fears, but DQ ends up being a bust, is the 26 draft a success or a failure?
I think anytime you trade a top 10 pick for a bust, it's a failure no matter what. If he turns out to be a bust.
What would make him a bust, in your opinion?
I think
if you have to move him.
No, it's levels. Like if he's a non-starter, but he's not a 6-man. Like he's like the 8.
At what point would you sell? At what point would you sell high?
I don't think there is a high.
You think that potential value is already gone? Like similar to like they did when they sent Buddy Hield in the DeMarcus Cousins type deal. You don't think nothing like that would exist?
Totally different. Because at that point, Buddy drafted what, 6th?
Yes.
He was like the consensus 6th pick.
Yeah.
The guy in Sacramento really wanted him. DeMarcus, nobody wanted them to give DeMarcus an extension.
Yes.
And so it was like a match made in heaven. Like, whereas somebody would have to see Derek and love that archetype of player. And shout out to what I really mean by no high is that I don't think people are looking for a Derek Queen type in the NBA right now. Because somebody would have went and got Sabonis. Even for the money, true. Sabonis are all NBA player, like a real deal player. Somebody would have went and got it. Nobody got it. I don't think people beating down a door to get Sengun. Like that David Lee type player, that shit, to me, that shit kind of dead. Like, even point.
Sabonis when he got moved early in his career.
Oh, yeah.
Sabonis still 7 feet though, huh?
No, he's about 6'11".
6'11".
Queen, are you talking about when he got traded for Ibaka or when he got traded
for Tyrese?
Yeah, for Tyrese. Because
Yeah, she said beginning of his career. So it's either I'm assuming it's the Tyrese deal because
so
he's in Indy for a little minute.
like no, I like because because when he was with OKC,
oh, she said the Ibaga.
Oh, for Ibaka, I would have to see when he got drafted, and then because Ibaka got traded to the Raptors, if I'm not mistaken, right? So where did Ibaka? He got drafted 11th, right, in 2016. See, the thing is, I guess it depends on
what got
was.
that.
No, like if you wanted him, or was it more about getting DeMontis, or was it about Serge? So like moving on from Serge. So because at that point, that team was kind of falling off. So I guess it depends on that. But the thing is like by his point too. What
he said he would have to, whoever would make that deal would have to think, because Buddy was getting talked about crazy early on, you know what I mean? Coming out of when he came out of
people
Oklahoma.
Gotta stop, dog. People gotta stop. That is insane. Like that is insane. Like even when like Jordan, I remember people saying Jordan Hawkins was like Steph. Like no, no, that motherfucker ain't like Stephon or Kel.
It was like a short Clay. I remember saying that. I definitely gave him the Ray Allen comp, how I thought he was gonna be used and whatnot.
Super failure. The thing with Sabonis is you just got Sabonis, right? Like you would just inherited Sabonis, and he was on a good team. Whereas with the Pelicans, you traded an unprotected future first for him and another pick. So basically, you traded 2 firsts for Derek, and you used the first. So you could make an argument that it cost you 3 firsts to get him, and kind of like the Mark Ingram thing. So, and you not a good team. Whereas at least when you drafted Sabonis, you're like, well, we're not gonna be good because Sabonis is here. We got fucking Russell Westbrook. We got some other people here.
Other people.
Yeah, and now it's kind of like if you need Derek to excel for your team to be good, it kind of look bad. Like that's why I kind of think it's no high, because I just don't know what team is looking for that archetype. I don't think any team's looking for a Sabonis, Sengun, David Lee type archetype. Like I don't think, like Sengun, for example, Sengun didn't even get a max contract. And Sengun's a far better player than
and Derek projects to be.
Yeah, Derek right now. And I remember talking about this. I may have spoken about it with you as well. And I hope everything work out for Derek. I'm just saying,
the
best version of Derek possible is DeMontis or Sengun. And I'll probably say DeMontis. Teams don't build around that type of player. And every team that get that type of player, the first thing they're trying to do is trade him. Like, all right, we ain't gonna work with this. Shout out to Louisiana girl. She said similar to the Ibaka trade. What if Washington season is going terrible and they're just trying to get off AD? Would you send Derek?
The money is just too significantly different.
I think Sabonis had a lot left
more tread on the tires
when they traded Tyrese for him, because Sabonis at that point was still kind of like,
he was kind of young.
He was 25.
Yeah, he was kind of young.
He was 25. He was coming off 2 All-Star bids, and he finished second and sixth. Like by his third year, Sabonis finished second to 6th man of the year. He had back-to-back All-Star bids, right?
What?
At 25, he was averaging 18 and 12. Like this motherfucker was cold, son. Like, look, in his first year in SAC, All-Star, NBA, all NBA third team, finished 7th in MVP voting.
Sabonis?
Sabonis, Domantas Sabonis. Look,
I know Sabonis was balling, but I don't remember. I remember I remember he got snubbed. He got snubbed one year from the All-Star. He was pissed about it. He was in there like the 5 on the Netflix. He was talking about that.
This dude was a 2-time like All NBA third team guy. So like the nigga cold. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm kind of just like, oh, go ahead. That the league is
building for Wemby. So like some player prototypes just not gonna be like. That was my concern when I watched like Mara, for example. You know what I mean? Is that like the slow feet might get you cooked, bro? Undersized might get you cooked, and they just big.
And look, I thought that too about Edie and Klingon. I was like, man, they gonna kill Klingon in the pick and roll, or Edie in the pick and roll. Mm-hmm. But them niggas, it's like you got to deal with me too. Like Edie, like you got to like. I think so much stuff.
I think Edie is way better than Klingon, to be honest. Like from what I've seen. Yeah, from what I've seen. And then when Klingon did have to see Wemby in that playoff, that motherfucker couldn't even stay on the floor. Like they had them playing him off the floor. You had Robert Williams out there taking up a lot of those minutes.
I also think too, the league just changed so much from 2016 to now. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because again, like 2016, the Warriors and LeBron kind of running shit. And since then, like I think the thing with Derek too, like Derek would have to be such an incredible offensive player, and even if everything checks out, like everything offensively checks out, it's like the league it's just a different league now. Like, and I'm not trying to shit on Derek. I'm just saying like like as far as like Sabonis is so much better than Derek. Like he's so much better. And Sengun
Sabonis is a great player though. Like he's not like Steph Curry level great, but like when we talk about consistent quality, maybe all-star level player, like he's a difference maker on a team. That's how I look at Sabonis. Like he's a sure starter for sure on any team that he's on. Like he's definitely a starter. Like you would even consider him off the bench at this point in his career, in my opinion.
I'll say this. Not that this is going to happen, right? But for certain players, there's realistic paths for them not being in the NBA anymore. Like I remember Kendall Marshall out of North Carolina. When Kendall Marshall came to the league, Kendall Marshall was with the Lakers getting 20 fucking assists.
Coming out of college, you mean?
Coming out of college. Like he was just, they picked him up off the street. Like, come on, Kendall, come play with us. Kendall was getting like 20 assists. But they was like, wait, he's not good. And they had to like, they're like, fuck the 20 assists. Like, nigga, you can't defend nobody, you can't beat nobody on the dribble, you can't do nothing. So with certain players, I look at them like this. If this player, like with Zion, you can say if this player adds this. With Brandon, if this player added that, Herb, if this player adds this, they could be a very good player, or they are a good player. This would make them a great player. With Derek and some other players, I look at it and say, well, if you just changed everything about your game, you'd be better. Like, and that's the fucked up part.
If you were taller and more athletic and had the high motor and shot better, and like that's how you feel.
If you were a totally different player, bro, I think like they would be better. And that's like the fucked up part. That's why I'm like, damn, I hate that it has to be this way because I don't know. Like,
that's a good question. So, what's the outcome for Derek? I will say this: what's your contingency for Derek? Because my contingencies for Derek is I just think he's too immature, right? I think one of his paths to success is the maturity level has to increase. Like you got to start taking your work out. Like it took Z a while, but again, you can't compare Derek to Z because Z is a one-of-one level athlete. Like you can't just fucking replicate what Zion is. Derek, you gotta be on your Tom Brady. Like I gotta eat right. I gotta wait. I gotta make sure I get my sleep. I got, you know what I mean? Or you got to come out and show whatever, like this season, come out and show that you just cold. Like, cause you can do it, but you just got to be cold in the motherfucker. I'm not saying it's impossible. You could do it, but that's kind of it. So as far as like the best case outcome, I don't know. You can be the fourth. Best case outcome is you're starting fourth. I don't know what player I would compare it to. What you think? You said Sengun was his best case outcome.
I think I said like let's say that is his best case outcome.
Oh, let's say that's his best case.
Yeah, let's just say it is, right? Because based on his college film, I was like, well, he seems to be able to do everything that Sengun could do, like motor. Well, he just don't have the motor, right? But he seems to be able to do everything Sengun could do. I think Sabonis is just a different type of animal, right? But so I think of course you're a 4, but to me, if he becomes if he starts on a good team, you've won. Because I don't think
if he starts because he's not reputation.
Well, if he starts because if everybody is healthy and he can start for you at the 4 and he's like solid, I think you've won. Because to me, my new person for him is probably like I always said I thought he was like Kyle Anderson offensively. Like I do not see what everyone like. I ain't gonna say everyone. I do not see what some people see offensively, right? So I think maybe Kyle Anderson, again Boris Diaw.
That's crazy.
Like
I don't want to say crazy, but that's just.
But those are fine players. Like Kyle Anderson's still in the NBA.
Yeah, I'm just but being a fine player is like I'll say this, and Joe alluded to this when they drafted that was I put that up there for you. him and Mosley was working outside. You know what I mean, doing the show. Yeah. But I'll say this, Joe, I think understands the value of all of these picks. If you listen to I don't know if it's true or not, but again, when he did the interview introducing Jaron Pierre, and he was basically saying, no, we put a lot of investment into the second round pick because we can't afford to miss on any picks. I wonder if that was him having second thoughts, because I don't think they have any second thoughts about Fears. I wonder if that's a little buyer's remorse with Derek.
It might be a little too early for that to say that, because I'm sure they like Derek and believe in Derek. I just think I'm just speaking for me from my perspective.
Yeah,
I just can't think of a team that needs that type of player. Like I can't think of a team that needs that type of player and a point guard. Because I do believe that Fears and I even believe Zion and Queen can play together in certain ways. Like I think if Queen was like the play starter and Zion was the play finisher, or Queen was the play starter and Fears was the play finisher, I just don't don't see it, bro. Like, I'm just being real. Like, as a person who wanted to work out as well as you, I'm sure everyone else, I just don't see it. Like, I don't see it.
And if that's, let's say hypothetically, right? Yeah. Hypothetically, and again, personally, which is why I wanted to see DQ in Summer League. And I know a lot of people using the defense that they played 81 and 82 games and all that. Nah, fuck all that.
It ain't too early. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if right. And we're just having a conversation, right? Like you, again, for all of the upside, there has to be another idea of, like, again, we talked about the best trade, like we spent all day, all summer, talking about him all season. Possible ways to make the team better. And it's kind of like, all right, look, you could fuck this up as well. Bad deals to do that.
You can fix it or fuck it up, yeah.
Exactly. So like with drafting Jeremiah, as great as Jeremiah potentially could be, or fuck, he might not pan out either. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's still on the table as well.
There's a world that he could not be good. Yeah.
There's a world where both of them not good. I'm not saying that that's the case, but just hypothetically, if you found if internally they have the same opinion that you may have, they might want to give DQ every opportunity to succeed. But if they have the same opinion that you have after having them in the building, now what do you do?
Look, shit like this happens. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, let's just say it's the worst case scenario. And not that they feel that way, but let's just say hypothetically that it's the worst case scenario. Kobe Bumpkin is on the summer league with the Pelicans. Kobe Bumpkin was drafted 15.
Yeah,
some of these niggas is not around no more. It's too much talent in the NBA for you to dwell over a potential mistake, right? It happens sometimes. Some people don't figure out their niche until like their third team. It took Julius Randle like 3 teams to really figure it out. He was solid he got injured with the Lakers, solid with the Pelicans, and went on to New York and really figured it out. So there's several paths for Derek to be successful because he got. I'm not out here saying he's skilless. I just think it's really difficult for non-athletic below the rim bigs who can't really shoot or finish at the rim efficiently and who's kind of turnover happy. It's kind of hard. It's hard. It's hard for motherfuckers to have that many minuses in their game to like be successful. Like you have to be 100% will motor player. And
do you think, let's say, because I think he's gonna play okay, right? I don't
he'll be fine. I think he's fine. It just depends on what fine means to you.
Yeah.
I think he'll be fine.
I think the expectations for him and Fears are different going into this season. Like I don't think they should be, but I think they are. Just like I think what people expect Fears to look like, I don't think people expect Queen to match said level, right? But we'll see when the game starts.
I don't think anything's ever. I'm sorry, I was gonna say I don't think anything's ever as good or as bad as people.
No, I 100% agree with that.
Yeah. So because
my only thought is like if he let's say he has. And a lot of players, their second years don't just blossom their second year. It's not saying that you pivot, right? Again, like you said, Julius Randle, it took time. Brandon, it took time. Brandon didn't really become a plus player till he got
his second team.
Third. So like it's absolutely a world where like it takes you some time. I'm not saying you pivot right away, but if DQ still shows some of the things that you thought was a concern at some point, like do you think Joe is willing, or I don't know if Joe or Troy or Amanda or whoever's technically going to be in on these decisions kind of like, look, I think we should exit sooner than later?
I'll say this, bro, and this is as real as I can keep it. If you're not gonna go all the way, you shouldn't have did it.
That's
now it's on you to where you cut. It's on you to where you want to cut the cord. But if you're not gonna go all the way and try to make it work, you just shouldn't have did it. Because Derek don't have a single problem now that he didn't have coming out of college. He don't have what up, Nando? He don't have a single problem now that people wasn't worried about in college that caused a cause for concern. Didn't have a single problem.
Agree.
So nothing's fundamentally changed. Like watching him in college, his tape, I see the same player against worse competition. Right? Like I just see the same exact player. And he's a rookie. He had a terrible coach. We'll see what happens. For me, the only reason I'm less confident because I think it's hard to overcome some of those deficiencies. Like he'll become a great dead-eye shooter.
I don't think they knew he was this immature. I think they could live with the other deficiencies.
That's the thing. Is like, gotta watch some interviews, man. Because first time, like, of course, I don't know Derek. First time I heard him talk, I was like, oh, I had presumed he was like 18 years old. I didn't know he was 20, about to be 21. That's another thing. The older prospect. So, a lot of his stuff is going to be creating and refining his current skill set. He's not going to really get taller, probably. It's not going to get faster. It's not going to jump higher. Like, a lot of stuff is going to be, can you tighten up your dribble so you don't get your pocket pick bringing the ball up the court? Can you not be super turnover prone? Can you improve your motor? Can you box out and try defensively? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think, at least he's trying. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's trying is a low bar.
No, we ain't here to try. We gotta execute.
Yeah, we gotta be good. I think
the season with Mosley and the amount of work that the players seem to have consistently been putting in, and we'll see when the season starts how they continue, like, as far as the expectations and whatnot, and how they manage this moving forward. I think will let everybody know if Mosley got that note. Like, if Stan was the coach, in my opinion, and you knew Stan was going to be here for a while, half of that shit with DQ, I think we'd be like, they'll either have to get rid of him or he going to have to fix,
You think it's that bad?
No. I'm not saying the immaturity. I don't like the immaturity at all.
You talking about like the tweets and some of the stuff?
No, not even the tweets. Like, when I see the immaturity in his game on the floor to a degree. Right.
Yeah.
Like I see, like, again, when
with DeAndre Jordan talking to him.
It's just certain things that you could tell from a young player, and you hear it also when you listen to the interviews and stuff like that. You can just see it, but I see the immaturity on the floor as well, right? Like, you're a professional at this point. Also, that's why you can tell, for me, I look at the personal element of a lot of this, right? So, like, you can tell when he is starting and getting minutes compared, like, similar for boom. Here's a perfect example. When he was playing in the summer, one of the things you said was, man, you got to stroke the ego. You got to, give him the ball a little bit for him to look productive. That's not always the case. That's a level of immaturity. We need you to come out there and do whatever you need to do, regardless of if you touch, you know what I mean? Like, you got to come out here and do your role to the best of your ability. So that's kind of immaturity online, on the floor, behind the scenes is that bad. So it's just kind of like, for me, I'm looking at that. Yeah, listen, I'm not it's funny. Alarming thing to me is that the immaturity issues didn't get better as the season went on last year. They almost got worse. I personally believe that some of it could be, and this is just me. Some of it could be that as you get some success, and even though the team is losing to a degree, I just think it's tough to hold, accountability a little bit. And then Willie Green and fucking James Borrego is just, I just think that caused an issue, caused the issue in itself, right? I'm just hoping a full season under, another year with Joe, a true regime change with Mosley will like start to establish, because for me that was my biggest concern, the immaturity. And then we'll see.
I'll just say this. Yeah. I'll just say this. I can live with almost any non-criminal immaturity, right? And look, I don't care if it's a criminal. I ain't the one signing your motherfucking check. Just depending on what you did. Mm-hmm. I can live with almost any level of immaturity if the player is good. Like, if you cold, I'm like,
if you cold.
Man,
that's why I said
Yeah,
That's
they
why I say
planted
you
the
gotta
drugs.
be.
But if you not cold, and I don't know if I see a pathway to you being cold, I'm like, yeah,
What are we doing?
This is a waste of time. But like,
Ooh.
but I'm not saying that about Derek. I'm just saying like when a player is good and you like, damn, these are some highs. Like this dude got some crazy fucking highs. And man, wait a minute. If he could put all this together, like even with Jackson Hayes never figured it out, but he had some highs. And he had some highs, though. You like, boy, if this man ever put it together, he's such a great athlete. He can make his free throws. He can do this. He can do that. He just an asshole.
But you heard it. You sound a lot of the he cans. You was a lot of he cans in there.
Yeah. Versus like if a motherfucker sounded like Stephen A. Smith and Kwame, like his hands are small, he can't do this, 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 he can't do this. It's like people's patience. Because I could hear the impatientness in a lot of people's voice in some of the comments. And I'm trying to be the voice of reason here.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, look, next season in December, Derek's gonna be 22. Gonna be 22.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him have some solid post defense against Wemby, right?
Yep.
So I'm at some solid moments.
Some really good moments.
I don't know if I say really good. I say some solid post defense, but I also saw that. I also think his highs were few and far in between, and his lows, like most rookies, were there a lot, right? And I don't think his highs were very high. And of course, I did the live stream. And it was just like, all right, Derek's coming into the game. We're probably about to lose now. So, and that seemed to be the case more often than not. Like, okay, Derek's checking in the fourth. This game's probably about to be over. But that's not to say that he can't get better. All he gotta do is finish better at the rim, tone down the turnovers, and have a better motor. Now, and my thing is this. If he does all of that, let's say he does it all, motor better, tone down the turnovers, better rebound, whatever. Where does he still land as a player? And that's like my thing, though. I'm like, I need to see if he's good. Like, can he play versus like the tweets and shit? This is whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna throw this thought out there, and you don't even have to respond to it. We'll move to some of the start questions and get ready to get out of here. We almost 3 hours in, man. Appreciate everybody. If y'all still in, hit that like button.
Much love to y'all, man.
Set a screen, subscribe if you haven't. But I'm gonna throw this thought out there.
Funny as hell.
Yeah,
stand the fuck up.
She, bro. Listen, shout out to her because she must know a good bit of information to just, be having to just live with that shit.
DQ gonna be all right, man.
I'm too emotional, though. I wouldn't always rage out, but like you could just tell if you follow me on Twitter and whatnot. Look.
Look, everybody gets fed up, man. I think DQ gonna be all right. It's just all about what all right means to you.
Listen.
You good.
You listen. This is the place for that. This is the place for that. My show, Chaz show. This is the place to come because this is a place of peace. This is a place of serenity. Matter of fact, this is how they make me feel from time to time. We'll do this and then we'll transit.
22 cars and a boat totaled. How did you think about?
We didn't sink it.
Woosah! Woosah!
Appreciate all y'all, man. No, that's how them dudes make me feel. When I read that Fizz and Queen weren't playing Summer League, that's immediately what I went.
Just freaked
out.
That's
how I felt. Like, what the fuck? And that's probably how you felt when they traded that pick. They traded that pick.
Look, when they traded the pick, I wasn't like furious. I was just confused. I was so confused.
I gotta find something for
I was higher on DQ back then than I am now. So now I'm just like, total disbelief. But it's like whatever. It's over though. Like, you know.
I gotta find something for that one, man. Maverick, again, man. Appreciate y'all. Hold on, man. Let's get some of these so I get y'all out of here. I'm a bit behind in the show. I'm spot on with the DQ take. Appreciate it. Immaturity is gonna be a huge hurdle. You'll see how Troy and Joe pass that even with the age. This is my last point on DQ. We'll get to the star questions and then be done. If Mosley has the full support of upstairs to make any roster decision, because we talked about this on your show the other day, make sure y'all go check that out. If Fears is out playing DeJounte, right, should like not it ain't about how DeJounte will feel about going to the bench, but like would he put him on the bench, right? And like how would the organization roll? Like, my thought is, if DQ is not performing, right, or not doing it defensively, is not good. Offensively, limited or whatever, because at some point you got to produce, especially when this team trying to win. Are they willing to not play him? Willie was willing to not play him.
Absolutely.
You think they do it?
I think they give him nice, fair. Look, I think some of the stuff, not lip service, but I think some of the stuff is kind of like, we're going to see what it, it's political talk to a degree, because Zion and Derek has played quite a bit with one another, right? To not great results, but also he was under a bad coach. So I think if you're playing and they get like a couple games under their belt and, the numbers still suggest what they suggest.
Let's just say hypothetically, Carlo is just looking
way
the team
better
is
than
just
Derek.
functioning better with Carlo, or is functioning better with Ease, or they do sign a big Nick Richards, and Nick Richards is just functioning better with the team. Would they just be like,
they'll just take that? It happens all the time. Like, I don't think they like
it happened with rookies all the time, also.
Because even yet and still,
Harris
like
Walker was the top 10 pick, didn't touch the floor.
Because like even if like just hypothetically speaking, right? Let's say if Derek was pick 8, people don't really care about you shitting, like not shitting on, but like I pick 8 and work out, I go about your business. If it's pick 13, it's like anything after the top 4 is a gamble, so whatever. Like if it don't work out, like if this year if A Cup don't pan out and he keeps shooting the way he's shooting, people gonna be like, all right. Like he was pick 7. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's only so much you really could do.
Ain't like he was pick 2.
Yeah, he wasn't the top 2 pick. You didn't like reach to get him. And there was a lot of people saying don't do that. So it wasn't like he was a consensus 7. Derek wasn't a consensus 13. So, the worst mistake last year I think they made was not playing him in the G League. The way he could go work just on some things, get some go-tos. But I guess the question becomes, how you think you look in the G League? Like, that's why
I asked. Just like I wonder the steps that they typically take with rookies. And again, when your team losing is different. Like it don't really matter when you fucking losing games. Like if we winning is different, right? But again, that could be part of why you was losing. But it's just, are they willing to do the things that you would typically see with rookies that help development, like send you to the G for a while, or it's like, look, bro, you're gonna have to learn from the bench. And if you do have to learn from the bench, are you mature enough to like not sulk about it and work on your game?
Maybe now that you got your real leader in the building, maybe now that you got Coach Mo in the building, that they probably like, all right, well, we're gonna go with Coach. Coach said you're fucking off, and that go for anybody, Fears, Zion, anybody.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
You're fucking off, you're gonna have to sit down. And I think I think now that you got a leadership you can trust in the building, I think they'd be more open to doing that, in my opinion.
Yeah, okay. That's kind of where I'm at. I think they just gotta support that guy. Like you have to show the support to Mosley over damn near any player right now moving forward. Like, and I think that's how you get control of this team. Let's get through some of these real quick. What you think about the Donovan Mitchell extension?
It it makes sense from the standpoint of like we ain't really got no avenues to being better. You're locked into Mobley for that long-term contract. You're locked into Jared Allen. You promised Harden the extension. You got to just go all the way now. And you made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, you know?
Yeah. I think
now you got to lean into it.
I'm all about Mitch for sure getting his money. And then again, like what you are without him. Like at the end of the day, what you are without him. So you could not pay him and force his hand to dip. That'll be an issue. I don't know if they could have sent him to the G. We saw how he reacted and played after moving to the bench. The G League might have sent him overboard. See, that's a him issue. That's a him issue.
Man, if that's the case, this is like that's a failure on Troy and his evaluation. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you can't be disciplined and listen to advice, if that's the case, if that's the case, then you know
it Troy, might be time. Yeah, might be time to cut. It's gonna show itself. I think this year is absolutely gonna show itself. And then we'll
you'll probably see in the preseason, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. I think you'll know extremely early. Shout out to Mike Matt earlier. The 2 timelines is a myth. No one ever said 2 timelines with KD to Houston. I still don't believe. Like we talked about that a little bit. The 2 timelines here.
There's a time bomb whenever you trade for KD.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you want players to come to players want to come to New Orleans even if they're paid above market? What you think?
Some probably would. Like you saw Looney, for example. But the way some players get treated when they get here too, that could probably be off-putting. Because if you combine Looney and you kind of got shit on, if you Jordan Poole and you got shit on, these people got friends. Like, you know, people like these guys. So they're gonna talk about it. So for every one success story, there's about 2 players that probably got shit on in recent memory with the Pelicans.
I completely agree, and that should get around the league. And then it's similar to, I think David Griffin had that issue with JJ, and like you got JJ to come here that year, and then the way JJ ended. And now again, if you were just gonna be about business, then say you about business. This was I had to make a business decision and then let that be that. And you know you got to acquire everybody via trade.
Or like when Jordan Poole doesn't do interviews, so he never talks about Draymond. Draymond talk about Jordan Poole every chance he gets.
All the time. Yeah.
Josh Hart shits on New Orleans every chance he gets, like for no reason. And shit like that can sour the market. That's why I don't sell. Once a motherfucker get traded, I'm like, for the most part, depending on who they is, I'm like, fuck them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because these dudes be super disrespectful sometimes.
Yeah. I imagine. I wonder with the like. Obviously, he's still a young guy, but I wonder with the Jerron Pierres of the world, like people that's from here, live here, is like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, watch your mouth now. Watch your mouth.
I mean, you know.
Yeah, we'll see. I think Pierre replaced the Jose fan favorite spark off the bench. If he could if he makes the rotation and whatnot, I think he'll have a little bit of that. Let me see. This is the last one I think we talked about it. I hope they wait on it. This is talking about Zion. I hope they wait on the deal. Him on a longer deal is harder to trade if the teams ends up being bad. What you think?
It'll be interesting to see because if I'm his side, I'm trying to get this extension done ASAP. Because if the team bad, y'all probably gonna waive me. Like if I'm hurt again,
he's just gonna cut him.
Yeah. So the fact that because you know Duffy he represents Queen and Zion, so boy, it'd be fucked up with both of your clients. You got problems for the team, but he represents Queen and Zion, so I'm sure there's that rapport there. So hopefully they working in conjunction on getting something reasonable done for both sides.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah, we'll see. Listen, I'll say this: if Z signed his extension by the 15th, I'll be very just this offseason, I'll be very surprised. But shout out for him. I hope it, I like Z, so I hope Z around for a while. But man, I appreciate everybody. Make sure y'all hit that like button again, man. Cheddar, you want to tell them where they can find you, dog?
Oh yeah, man. Tap in, you know what I'm saying? #1 Pelicans critic. At the No Pick Show, holla at me, man. Just Cheddar Chaz on everything. CHEDDACHAZ. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. You know, man. Just holla at us, man. We trying to be realistic and solution oriented on this show.
Absolutely. And I always want to have a little bit of fun, about these trades that ideally
definitely.
even, some of these trades, we talk about the great trades that'll be made. There's also bad trades that could be made that'll fuck around and bury and ruin your team. So, we got to be out on the lookout and put those out there too, so we can make sure we get the opinions on that as well. But man, make sure y'all like and subscribe, bro. Appreciate y'all. We're going to get out of here with this one.
That was easy. Wasn't doing nothing. It was easy. I was just
What 81 you talking about?
Kobe's 81.
Boy, it's out the mud. We got Rashad McCown.
Kobe's 81. Kobe's 81.
We appreciate
Kobe's
y'all
81.
out the mud. Zach Randolph, Rashad McCown, Cemetery Lane. We did it.
Bro, listen, we live in a time where it's some of the funniest shit that ever happened in the world, bro. It'd be all you got access to.
That's how I feel when people tell me about Herb and DeJounte. Yeah. I'm like, what players you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, boy. The fuck?
Yeah, but
like,
we out the mud,
man. I'll be like, all right,
Keith. We go ahead and call it up. Appreciate all y'all, man, for tapping in, bro. Man, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all week, man. Pels play Thursday, every Thursday, 2:30. Probably got a little show. Right. So yeah, early afternoon game, man. But appreciate everybody for tapping in. A Davis, Pels in the blender. I'm out. Y'all be safe. Peace.